Hey guys, welcome to another pick a card. This week is our chakra series. Pick a card for the throat chakra. This is featuring BTS's Yoongi, also known as Suga. And then you also have MONSTA X's Kihyun. So we have 4 piles. So pick whichever pile resonates with you. We've got 2 that have a Yungles on top of them, and then 2 that have a Kihyun on top of them, a little hamgam. So a little kiki. So pick whichever one resonates for you. In that little chest that's in the middle, we actually, for each pile, have what is your truth in there. So it's kind of like unlocking those secret truths because your throat chakra is all about speaking your truth and communication. And it's the color is blue, which is why we have all these little crystals and why the chest is blue, why there's so much blue going on. So your throat chakra is obviously on your throat, which is pretty easy to find. And it's one of your upper chakras. And that chakra is the one that allows you to kind of speak and communicate clearly.
Mhm.
So that's the one that we're doing today. So this is going to be like what your throat chakra is telling you, which this week it's very funny because it fits very well with the throat chakra. We also have some cards that we made as well. So we use these every week, but in every single one of our chakra readings, but they're cards that have a member of BTS or MONSTA X or the whole group, and then they have the chakras on the back, but they also are correlated with a chakra and have either a quote from that member or lyrics on them. So we'll do those. And then we also have some BTS stickers in here that we'll do. We'll do a little sticker toss. So we have a lot going on, just like we always do with our chakra series. So what we'll do is we'll pick one of these piles and we'll go ahead. We'll get started with pile 1.
See you there.
If you chose pile 1, you chose Yoongi dressed up in RJ costume, which is Jin's character, his BT21 character. So with this pile, we have the treasure chest. So we'll get into that after we do your cards. But we also have tarot, we have oracle, we have BTS stickers, and then we have our letters that go along with that too. And then we also have our favorite part, which is the beautiful deck that we made that is chakras, and then it's BTS and MONSTA X members themed. So we'll get into that last, but we'll start with your cards. And this is going to be all about what your throat chakra is telling you. I didn't mention in the intro why we picked Yoongi and Kihyun, but I feel like I need to for this group. So with those 2, they are very good about speaking their truth and having that confidence and expressing it. So we decided to pick these 2 members of these groups because we feel like they're the ones that best embody the throat chakra. So I wanted to put that out there. If you haven't listened to Yoongi, he's also known as Suga, but also as August D. So if you want to go listen to his solo stuff, it's also amazing. And he collabs a lot too, but he's very vocal about like his opinions and things like that. And he's very, very able to speak his truth. So it makes sense for him. And then for Kiki, he is the main vocalist of MONSTA X. He has a beautiful voice, but he's also very expressive in what he believes as well. So we decided that that was why we were going to choose these 2. So check them out if you haven't before. But
not to mention
yeah.
that sorry, both the Yoongi and Kihyun are very powerful in their groups, as far as like Yoongi's a very powerful rapper and Kihyun is a very powerful vocalist. So, just more reason on why they're the throat chakra. And so, I was going to say earlier when you were holding up that little sticker that I actually feel like, and I haven't seen any of the cards, so I don't know what you guys have, but this group feels, because you have the, sticker with the RJ costume, I feel like this group, you guys are very connected to your throat and your root chakra, and you have that same power that like Yoongi and Kihyun embody. So I'm very excited to see what your cards look like.
Yes, me too. So let's start. So we will get started with your tarot and then we'll go into your oracle. So first of all, you have the Hierophant. So LOL, because that's very related to the throat chakra. We have the Queen of Wands.
Nice.
Yes, this is very nice. The Two of Pentacles. And the last of your tarot is the 10 of Cups.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, this is beautiful. So with this, what I'm getting right off the bat, like you guys are really connected, like really
Mm-hmm.
connected to your chakras. The Hierophant is all about teaching and learning. And like for me, like I feel, especially since you have the Queen of Wands, like this is very much like expressing what you know, expressing your knowledge, expressing your creativity. So I feel like you are, as Lena said, very connected to your throat chakra. And then with the Two of Pentacles, that's about balance. And then the Ten of Cups is like, I love the Ten of Cups. It's such a good card. It's about
Mm-hmm.
like having all of your emotional fulfillment. So I feel like with this group, like you're being encouraged to share your knowledge and like be creative and let it out because you are really already attached. Like you're already very linked to your chakras. And I feel like right now, what your throat chakra is trying to tell you is that you need to express that, put it out there. Like, make sure
Mm-hmm.
you're balancing. Like, you don't have to, like, always be on it all the time. Like, I'm always on my soapbox, but like, also in expressing yourself creatively and like maybe as a teacher or maybe as someone who's able to express their truth, like I feel like that is bringing you all of this emotional stability, and it's actually bringing you that balance that you're wanting because of the fact that you're sitting in your power when you share that information or that truth that you have.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that very much because, and here's the thing, like, I think a lot of people tend to think that, like, sharing your truth means that you have to be, like, a jerk. And you don't. You can share your truth and be in your power and honor yourself while still standing up for yourself, but not necessarily being a jerk to other people. I mean, sometimes, yes, we do kind of have to set tougher boundaries with some certain people and like give a sense of tough love, but for the most part, like, you can just set a boundary and stand firm by yourself. And I know that's hard and kind of a foreign concept for a lot of people, and I feel like for this group, like, I was getting that, like, I could hear some of you being like, well, I don't know what they're talking about because I'm not very outspoken. And it's like, right, but are you creative? Do you draw? Like, do you express yourself through art? Do you sing? Like, because
Mhm.
that is a form of expression that is using your throat chakra. And so, like, you very well still could be very dominated throat chakra wise and not realize it. And I think
Yes.
what spirit is trying to do is show you that you are throat chakra dominant and that you can express that truth, and be yourself without being like, because I feel a lot of fear from this group of like, fear of expressing that truth because you don't want to come off too harsh or like a jerk. And some of us do have a little bit of a like harsher way, because I know that, like, for the most part, I've been told a lot for myself because I have a Capricorn stellium, so like I can be very direct sometimes, like sometimes, and then I'm an air sign, so like sometimes too direct, but I also have that but Pisces rising and that Leo rising, so I'm also very emotional as well. So sometimes, like, and I have trouble speaking my own truth with my throat chakra. Like, throat chakra gets blocked for me often. I have a lot of trouble speaking my mind and my own truth, but you know, um, so like it for me, it flip flops, and I feel like you guys are afraid of coming off too direct or too harsh, and it is kind of about knowing your audience. And as I've grown up and I've learned to be like, okay, with these people, there's someone who appreciates my like honesty, like they want to know exactly what I think, and I'm pretty good about saying things, I think, for the most part, in a nice way. I was like, and then you have the people that I know are very sensitive, and that like I can't really tell them exactly what I think. I kind of have to let them come to that realization on their own and guide them gently, because telling them that in the past has not worked for them. Like, they don't listen. So I
Mhm.
think that's what you guys kind of have to figure out, is knowing your audience, knowing who you need to speak to and like how you speak to them, because everybody's different. And I think that will really help you in getting in. But I think what Becca was saying is right. When you find that balance and that stability, and you keep speaking that truth and keep expressing yourself, you're going to get that emotional fulfillment that you're looking for.
Mhm. Definitely. And one thing with the creative that I wanted to mention, with creativity, like Lena said, yes, that could be like drawing or singing or writing is what I was really getting for this group. I'm getting very strongly that like one thing a lot of people don't understand is like when you write something, you're putting your truth out there in that way too. When you draw something, you're putting your truth out there because that's coming from you. You're pulling it out of you from somewhere, right? So that's where that creativity comes into play. It's an expression of what is inside of you. Usually, you know, if you are a spiritually based person, like that comes from spirit, that comes from not only your inner self, but like also your higher self as well. So writing, I'm getting this like strong sense that this group likes to write, but maybe you don't put it out where it's seen. And I think that's something that your throat chakra is trying to encourage, because they're like, hey, you're expressing yourself, but you need to put it out there. Like, because that's going to bring you that balance and stability, is sharing it with people. If that makes sense.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So let's get let's get into your oracle cards really quick. So we have, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. So again, like I said, I'm feeling really strongly like you guys already express it. You just might not be sharing it with people. You have, for your crystal, you have garnet, which is ignite your passion. For what you are currently working on, we have discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. For your, and this one we can read. This is actually a journal prompt. So this was something that Spirit really wanted me to read for you guys. This one says, thus one journey to the stars. So I'm going to go ahead and read that in a second, but I'm going to make sure that we have your cards out before I do. We have, for your little pop of encouragement, we have pucker up, buttercup. And it says, being fair and reasonable will earn you respect and admiration, but being genuinely kind will make you a total love magnet. Go for love magnet, the universe. For your mantra, so can be used as an affirmation. It says, every next level of my life will demand a different version of me. And then the last card that we have is an aspiration card. It says, what lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. So again, I feel like that's very much talking about like you're already doing it. It's already in there. And let me read this card for you really quick. So for the Cosmic Journey card, which is the thus one journeys to the stars, it's number 28. So any of these numbers that came out, I think you also got 54. So those could be important. And if you reduce those, so 28 is 10 and then 54 is 9. So those could be important numbers to you. Number 28, it says, Sicatur ad astra, in Latin phrase meaning thus one journeys to the stars. What got you here is not the same thing as what you'll need to evolve into a pure light by body merging back into source. As you climbed up the mountain of your mission here, you continued chipping away at the good or even the really good to uncover your truest expression of divine destiny. Are you serving the collective in your own unique way, a way that also fully serves you? The time has come for you to put your full heart, soul, and spirit behind your work. Your greatest purpose is filled with joy, happiness, and love expressed through your contributions to the universe. So the question that you're supposed to ask yourself is, how can I put my full heart, soul, and spirit into my greatest work? And what would this change and what would remain the same? So, oh, and I have to read this too because it fits so well. Cosmic checkbox. Schedule one conversation with a good enough relationship in your life to share what is now acceptable and not acceptable anymore to you.
Setting those boundaries.
So, yeah, this is definitely par for the course. Like, for me, again, you are already doing things to express yourself, but I think it's really this encouragement to put it out there and to share those things that you're feeling, share those things that you're expressing with others, to put it out there, fully pull it out, and, you know, just express it like you're ready. You're already doing it. Just put it out there because you're ready.
I agree with that. Like you could have like, you know, a journal full of poems stashed up that you might want to share and, you know, and things like that. And, you know, of course you don't need to share anything that's like too, you know, something that you're like, well, that's very deeply personal to me and I could never share that. Well, like, you know, I don't think Spirit would ask you to do that. You know, sometimes they do ask us to share our personal stories just because they really can resonate with someone, but only you're really going to know if that's, you know, something that you're being called to do because, you know, there are some things they're like, oh no, you don't have to share that. But you know, for some of you, I think there is a personal story that it's not so much that you're like, oh, I could never share that. It's more that you're afraid to share it because you're afraid of what would happen. But I think you're being encouraged to share it, or to share like your pain, or share your truth, or, you know, maybe you developed a funky yoga practice and you want to put it, you know what I mean? Like it could be anything creatively. Like I'm seeing all kinds of things, like painters, I'm seeing like clay, I'm seeing like things that you could sell on Etsy that you've been making for fun. Like, and spirit's just like, no, do it. Like, express yourself, like express that truth, because you know what we make with our hands, you know, what we like Becca said, that is an expression from inside of us, and that is speaking our truth. Like that comes from the throat chakra.
Definitely. I definitely think with this group, like, you just need that like push of encouragement is kind of what I'm getting. Like, you already are doing it. You're already doing a great job. And like spirit is like, okay, just put it out there because it's you're doing great. Like, you're doing great, sweetie, is kind of like the vibe that like very much so. So what we can do is we'll go on. Well, let's see what's in your little box. So this is your treasure chest. So in here is what is your truth? Like, what do you need to speak? So we have some charms in here. So we do have some letters, or not letters, numbers. So we have the number 8, which is also a symbol of infinity. But the number 8 could be important. It could be a life path number. It could be, you know, that you have infinite possibilities. You know, possibilities are endless. Like, spirit's really, it's a very encouraging number, and it's a very spiritual number as well.
Actually, life path 8s, if you don't know anything about life path numbers and you do happen to be a life path 8, they actually are a lot about like their work, their life's work. Like, they're very work driven, and their whole life purpose is about expressing their work. So that's something that I would definitely I'm still getting versed on like life paths, but that one I do know a little bit about.
Yes. You also have the number 5.
Hey, good, another good life path. I don't know what number 5 does. I'm very sorry.
That's okay. It could be a life path number, could just be a number that you resonate, or maybe like the 5th of the month is important, or your birthday's on the 5th of a month. It could just be a number that you consider lucky, but number 5. You have some letters in here. You have a T. You have an E. A Y.
Tay.
You also got a V, so maybe Taehyung is your favorite from BTS.
There you go.
And then the last letter that you got was an S. Set is popping out to me from this. So with that, like, I believe like with set, that means like you're set, like you're ready, like you're good to go.
Oh yeah, that thing about discipline, and I think it said something about setting your mind to something. So that can be it as well, about like, you know, just basically just that Shia LaBeouf me, just do it. Like, that's
just do it
in my head right now.
Yes. You got a fairy, which is all about magic. So I feel like this group, like, you need to kind of believe in your magic right now. Like, you've already done all of the things you need to do. It's not focusing. There we go. I got it for a second. You're already doing all of the things you need to do. And like, you're already making magic. Like, you've already tapped into it. It's just a matter of sharing that with everybody else and letting it take flight. You got the shell, and this actually has purple and white, which is very, very crown chakra. So with the shell, like, it's usually about like opening up, and since this is the outside of the shell, like, I feel like it really is about like opening up and letting everybody inside, and not keeping it all like clammed up in there.
Yeah, I think you guys have a divine wisdom that you need to share, and you probably don't realize that you have divine wisdom that you need to share, but you definitely share it. Like, express to yourself, speak your truth, you know. And the thing is that I think a lot of people tend to think like, oh, well, like, I don't know, I just want to be like an architect, like that's my dream. And it's like, right, but your architecture could be life-changing for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's not just to like tarot readers are the ones that change, like, you know, spiritually that change the world, or just, um Reiki practitioners, or blah 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 blah. Like, it can be a musician, an artist, a doctor, a teacher, a you know electrician. Like, you following your passion and your dream is speaking your truth and is giving you power, which then gives other people, it inspires other people to stand up in their own power. That's something that we watch Chloe Taylor, if you guys ever watch her, and she always says that, and that really resonates with me. Like, she always says that when you stand up in your own power, it invites everyone else to do the same. And it is really true. So, don't think like, oh, well, like, I'm just a elementary school teacher and this is what I've always wanted to do. Like, well, it doesn't really do anything. And it's like, but it does. Because for one, you're inspiring the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
And two, like, again, like I said, even if we go back to like that architect, you're like, oh, I'm just a student. Like, it doesn't matter. Or I just sell phone cases on Etsy. I don't know why phone cases keeps popping in, but I keep seeing them. So if that's what you do and you're like, well, I just make phone cases, and it's like, so what is that so special? It's like, you don't know. Some people, like my little sister, she loves her phone cases. She buys so many of them. And so, like, you could be spreading joy to someone, which is great, because the whole point of spirituality is to help raise the vibration of the planet. So if your truth is making phone cases that are cute with like fun little quotes or whatever you do, or charms or anything like that, and it spreads joy to someone, that is speaking your truth. That is living your purpose. Like, it, and I feel like that needs to be said, because I feel like you guys are hard on yourselves in the sense that you're like, well, maybe what I do is not that important. And it's like, but it is important. No matter what it is, it's important. If it matters to you, if it makes you happy, if you're passionate about it, it's important. So please share it.
Mm-hmm. And you got the pink star. So for me, like, this is all about like, dreams, wishes, hope, like, and it's pink, which is the color of the heart chakra. And it's very light pink, but it's pink, which is the color of the heart chakra. And like, about that, like, it is about like having that hope and knowing that like you're sharing your heart, like putting your wishes and your dreams and like everything that's inside of you, putting it out there. And like, that is what brings more hope and what brings more to life, really. So for me, like, that's all about like having that hope, that expressing all of that stuff that's in there, like, that's going to bring you further along on your path, whether that is architecture, phone cases, food, um drawing, writing, singing, expressing anything at all. Like, maybe you really like math. I don't know, like maybe you're really into finance, like you're a business person and you help people with their taxes every year. Like, that's still important. And it's still, if that's your dream, that's your dream. And like, you can still put that out there and say like, I love this so much that I'm doing XYZ. And there's nothing wrong with that. And like, you need to express that, because that's really going to bring you the most happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last charm that you had in there is the little butterfly.
Transformation. Yeah. So your life is going to shift and transform when you start expressing this truth. Like, I feel like some of you have been like, well, why haven't things been shifting? And it's like, well, have you been expressing your truth?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
have you been actually putting it out there?
Yeah.
For sure. Like, have you been putting it where you're sharing it with others, or are you just keeping it to yourself right now?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the message that I'm getting, is like, it's okay to keep things for yourself. Like, of course, as we said, like, if it's really personal and you don't feel like you want to share it, then that's different. But if you have a gift and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should share it, or I don't know if it's important, like, it is. Put it out there and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Something that my therapist said to me, which I think, because like I love this, and I had a deep like realization, I think last week, that I was telling Becca about, basically, and some other people that we know, that my whole life, I always wanted to be spiritual, and I just didn't know it, because ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be psychic and have magical powers, and I loved witches and mermaids, and like I never wanted to get out of that land. Like, and I loved Harry Potter, and I got immersed into the world and all that stuff. And then and there were so many different careers that I like switched through from life, because I wanted to be a preschool teacher, and then I wanted to be a wedding planner, and then I wanted to be a writer, and writer I stuck with for a long time, and I still do love to write, and I hope to get back to it and actually publish a book at some point. But the thing that really lights me up and makes me happy is doing this. And it took me a long time to like come to terms with that. And I feel like that's kind of something that this group is going through that's very similar, is that whatever it is that you're into, I think you guys are having a little bit of a struggle coming to terms with it. And it's okay, no matter what it is. Like, just go forth. And something that my therapist told me, because I told her, I was like, well, what if I do this and I fail? And she was like, right, but you have just as much of a chance to fail as you do to succeed. She was like, so you're going to be better off trying. She said, because both things are uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen. So you can try and put your heart into it and see what happens and leap, or you can sit on the sidelines and always wonder. And I'm like, yeah, profound. It's very profound, very simple, but she's right. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, as scary as that is, I'm going to do this, and so here I am. So I'm saying, like, if I can try and go for my dreams, I think you guys can too.
Yes, I agree. And I mean, it was the same for me. Like, I came from so Lena's a Capricorn stellium. I'm a Virgo stellium. So I also come from a very grounded, like, earth, like, energy of just like, everything has to be solid and like grounded and make sense and like be responsible. And like, for me, it was always like, oh, well, I was raised basically knowing that, like, you grow up, you get a job, you get promoted in that job until you get to a place where you can take care of yourself, and then that's what makes you happy. And like, it was never about like, what do you actually want to do? What do you love to do? What makes you happy aside from that? Like, it was always about stability, right? And so like, with this group, if you're struggling with that and you're coming through this like place of, oh, I just don't know if this is stable. Like, it's a really big leap. Like, it's not anything close to what I'm doing right now. It does make me really happy, but like, I just don't know. I'm not going to feel grounded. Like, I literally, what I did, I when I started this spiritual awakening, I had just applied for a promotion at my job that I was working at, and I got that promotion a couple months later. And that was like my first manifestation. But I got that promotion and I started that new job, and like, as the months went on, it didn't take very long. A couple months went on and I was like, I don't want to work here anymore. This isn't my passion. Like, I like to read tarot. I like to do spiritual stuff. I like to draw. I like to write stuff for blogs. Like, I like to do, videos. I like to learn and teach and do things that are spiritual. Like, that's what I want to do. And like, it came to the point where at one point I was so miserable in this job that I had just gotten this promotion in, where before, like, I was completely fine. But it's because I was only there because I wanted stability. And I think really what this group needs to know is like, you can take that leap and you're going to be okay. Like, I quit that job. I didn't want to. It was terrifying. Like, I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't have any stability. I have no way. Like, what's going to happen? But here I am. And we're, putting these videos out, and like, I'm taking that risk, but I'm so much happier now than I would have just been just stuck trying to follow some stability. So if that's part of this too, like, if you're worried about it not being, quote unquote stable enough or the right thing because it's not traditional, like, I feel like, like, you can push past that and you're going to be okay. Like, spirit's got your back and they're ready for you to take that leap.
Mm-hmm. They're ready for you to grow into that different version of yourself.
Yes. Again, every next level of my life will demand a different version of me.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're gonna get into butterfly. So it's time to change.
Yep. It's time. It's time to change now. Ready to let go. Let Go by BTS. Good song. It got me through some rough patches.
Yeah,
but
great song.
Yes. So we're gonna get into a little bit of letters, and then we'll do your BTS stickers, and then we'll finish up with your really awesome chakra deck cards. So let's see what you get in the letters. And I'm going to actually pull this off so that we can look at them. Actually, the first thing, you can't see it, but Icy popped out, which I'm pretty sure, isn't that a song by ITZY?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you haven't listened to ITZY, they're another K-pop group. Great group. You should go check them out.
Yeah, there are a lot of self-empowerment songs. I also see rap in here, so maybe some of you are rappers.
It's possible, or maybe that's something you're aspiring to do. Like maybe you write raps.
Right, laps.
Yes, you write laps. Maybe you write raps, or maybe you're a lyricist in some way. Like that could be something, or you're aspiring to do that, or you already do that. Like, and you know, maybe it's about becoming more expressive with that and putting it out there. Like maybe you have some, you know, SoundCloud bits that are just sitting in space that are not published yet. Like put that stuff out there. I also see mom. So
I was gonna say we were one letter short from getting Rapmon.
oh, which is Namjoon from BTS. So RM.
Monster.
Yes. Which if you haven't seen that meme, it's hilarious. Please go watch it. And some laughter would be really good for this group. Like you don't have to take things so seriously all the time. That's another thing that I'm getting. Like life isn't supposed to be taken so seriously either. So when you're going through this transition, or you're like, you know, really getting anxious or worried, like do some stuff to help you like laugh and relax.
I also see Ram, so that makes me think of like Aries. So some of you might be Aries, or you might have Aries in your chart, or you might need to, you know, embody that Aries energy and charge forward, because Aries are very much go-getters. And so they want to charge forth and get what they want, and you know, like they're not, you know, and I think that's the energy that you guys need. You guys need to like dig deep into that energy and be like, you know what, I am great, I am gonna go get what I want. And I think that that's something that you guys need.
And while you were saying that, I saw ramp. So things are ramping up. Like I feel like the energy has been building for a really long time, and like you're on the top of the ramp. Now it's you just go down. Like just do it. Just take the plunge. Just go, leap, you know? Like you've already gone up. Now it's time to let it go.
Yeah.
I also see, I don't see it. I thought I saw more, but we don't have the E. But I feel like there's more. Like there's so much more that's destined for you. Yeah, and more is by Twice, which again, K-pop group. Go listen. But I feel like there's so much more destined for you that like you don't even see it yet. Like once you put this out there, like so much is gonna change for you, and in such a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I also see pro. So
pro. Yeah. Professional.
Yeah.
If you guys see anything else in these letters that we missed, please leave it in the comments. We always like to kind of see what you guys are seeing that maybe we missed, and like maybe you can give confirmation to somebody else in the comments as well. That would be really cool. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go into your BTS stickers to kind of see like what the haps is there. So let's see. I'm not gonna get a ton of them. I know last time I used my BTS stickers, there were so many. Like, yeah, that's plenty. Okay. So first one's out. We have the Anpan Man.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
And Anpan Man is all about like being, you know, like a hero. And I think it's, you know, like actually I haven't read the lyrics, but for right now what I'm feeling for this song is like this is about you guys being your own hero and your own champion. And like out, you know, I just hear it like where it's like, oh, you know, it's like waiting for your Anpan Man. So it's like for me it's like be your own Anpan Man. Like go out there and like be your own hero, take charge of your destiny, take charge of your life.
And to go with that, you have all of them running here.
Yep.
Like take off. It's time to go. Like, go, go, go. You have Cookie as the bunny, Jungkook with his carrot.
Go Go is also a great BTS song.
So with this sticker, I'm getting very much like, you know, taking care of yourself, like nourishment. And I don't necessarily mean physically. Like, yes, obviously, you always want to take care of yourself physically. But I think this is more about like nourishing like your inner child because he's got like his little bunny ears and like his little bunny tail. Like, I feel like it's very much about like being playful and like nourishing that creative side of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of, so this is Tata, this is Taze, but you might feel a little bit anxious or like uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what I'm picking up from that. You've got the stack, the BTS stack.
I like that. For me, that makes me think of like, you know, if you're a little worried about putting your stuff out there, like leaning on your friends and your loved ones and being like, hey, I'm trying this new thing and I'm a little scared about it, but, you know, I'm going to put it out there anyway. Like, you know, finding that. And also, too, knowing that, like, if you don't feel like you have that support system, knowing that spirit is right there, like, you know, you can, you know, let them help you, like, feel stable in putting that out.
Mm-hmm. You have Jimmy. Thumbs
Two
up.
chins up.
Yeah, like you're ready. You're good. Good to go, man. You also have a little bit of love from the chimney.
Oh.
Yes.
Also, he has 3 cups on that, so that's like a celebration card.
Mm-hmm. So the Three of Cups is all about celebrating and like having those emotional like wins with other people. Like it's very much about like celebrating with others. You have the thank you cookie.
Mm. I'm not sure why, but the Golden Girls theme just popped into my head, so maybe that has some relevance for some of you guys.
Mm-hmm. You also have Cookie holding hands with Cookie.
Oh,
So
yeah, you guys need to make friends with your inner child. I think this is something that you've wanted to do since you were young. Like, it's always been a dream of yours, like how I was talking about mine. I think that came up for a reason. I think there's something in there that you guys have been wanting to do.
yeah, definitely. I agree with that. You also have RJ with the heart. So I feel like this group, like just showing yourself love and like putting your love out there. Like I feel like those are very big messages for this group, especially with like your inner child stuff that's coming out. Like I feel like, yeah, and like resting is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And like you notice he has a stuffy, so that's Chimin. Chimmy and Jimin.
Yeah.
But like it's very much like this vibe of like resting and relaxing, but like taking care of your inner child because you've got like the nourishing food, you've got, you know, sleeping with the stuffy, you've got holding hands with the inner child. Like I feel like it's very much like taking that child by the hand and like nurturing them. Like saying like it's okay, like here today we're going to do, you know, this thing that makes you happy and we're going to eat well and we're going to sleep well and we're going to, you know, do things to balance out.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jimin with the hearts.
No, that's Junie.
Is this Junie?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it's Junie, yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, super cute. So pink is the heart chakra color again. And this is his pink hair with a little flower crown on top. So for me, like that's about like nurturing again, like your heart chakra. And because he's wearing black, like that very much tells me like finding that balance with your inner shadow as well. And like your ego and like going in and like, you know, showing yourself love and like working with the different parts of you inside to be able to share this. And then the last sticker that we have is the surprise chim. So for me with this, like this chimmy is surprised and I feel like this is kind of like a you don't even know it's around the corner kind of a feeling. Like very much so a once you put yourself out there and you make it known, like you're going to be shocked is kind of what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think you guys are going to be very shocked about like what you guys see and, you know, hear and experience. When you put that out there, you're going to be like, what? And, you know, I think something to realize too is that like if you put it out and, you know, like remember Rome wasn't built in a day. So like if you put it out on the internet, let's say tomorrow, and you're like, they said, and it doesn't happen in like a week
Mhm.
or something, just know that it does take time. But I do think at the end of it, you are going to feel like, yeah, that was worth it. Like that payoff was definitely there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna do the last part, which is our chakra cards, our MONSTA X and BTS chakra cards that we made. So let's go ahead and see what your throat chakra wants to tell you from these, and we'll get a few of them out for you, so you have a little bit of variety. Okay, so the first one out is Minhyuk. No, just kidding. J-Hope. I can't read. It says solar plexus chakra. It says choices by my fate. So we're here. Look ahead. The way is shining. Keep going now. And that's from Ego by BTS. So again, like keep going, put it out there. And that's all about confidence too, because your solar plexus is very much about like confidence and being brave. So for me, like keep going, put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we'll get you a couple more, maybe. Okay. You got the third eye chakra. This is Jungkook Cookie. It says, it's not focusing very well, but I'll read it. It says, this dream is a blue mirage in the desert, a priori deep inside of me. I'm so happy I can't breathe. My surroundings are getting more and more transparent. And that's from Euphoria by BTS. So for me, like, again, like you don't even know what's waiting for you. And like the more that you put yourself out there, the more you're going to get glimpses of what's coming.
Agreed, 100%.
And then they want one more card. Hold on one second. I lied. They wanted two, and you're gonna with the mic drop.
I was about to tell you. I was like, I think they said two.
You have the Soul Star chakra, which again, it's not focusing very well. Here. Which is you'll find it, the galaxy inside you, which is from Magic Shop by BTS. And then to top it off, you also got the Earth Star chakra, which is because of the thorns, a beautiful rose can bloom, which is from Beautiful by MONSTA X. Mm. So yeah, for me,
your story.
yeah, like share it, put it out there. Like you've got a galaxy inside of you, and like you have all of these things that you can share and put out there, and like Spirit's really encouraging you to do that. Mm-hmm. And that's very much what I'm getting for this group.
Agreed.
So if you enjoyed the reading, leave us a comment, a like, hit subscribe. Let us know what you thought, what resonated with you. If you want to, you can reach out to us. We also have playlists for the chakras, and we linked the Throat Chakra playlist below in the description box. So, you can go listen to that. We also do weekly tarot readings for the signs as well. They're actually pick-a-cards for the signs. So you can check those out. But that is what we have for you today. If you want to, you can watch one of the other piles, but we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you guys have a good rest of your week.
Yes, have an amazing week, guys. Bye.
If you chose pile 2, you chose the cute little ham gum with the little camera. If he would focus, probably won't. There we go. Super cute. So we have tarot, we have oracle, we have your little chest up here that has what secrets you have, or like what you need to speak, what truth you need to speak inside of it. So we'll get into that after we do the cards. We also have BTS stickers, and then we have our chakra deck that we made that is BTS MONSTA X theme and has quotes and lyrics from them on there, and matches up with the chakras. And then I didn't mention it in the intro, so now we're going to do it in every group. But the reason why we chose Yoongi, so Suga, and Kihyun from MONSTA X, so BTS and MONSTA X. The reason why we chose them is because they're both very vocal. They both are very expressive. They tend to express their truth. Yoongi's a rapper, and he very much puts his heart and soul into his rap, and that comes through. And like you can definitely hear him speaking his truth that way. And then Kihyun is the main vocalist for MONSTA X, and he too is very vocal and expressive of what he believes and what his truth is. And they're both very, not necessarily loud in the sense of like, well, like sound loud, but loud as in like expressive. And they're very, very honest people as well. And we chose them because we feel like they really embody that throat chakra energy.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to go ahead. We're going to start with this. We'll come back to this after the cards. But we'll go ahead and get into your cards and kind of see, what is your throat chakra trying to tell you? So we'll start with your tarot. And with your tarot, we have the Ace of Wands, which is new adventures. I know, exciting. We have the Fool, which is new beginnings.
Wow, lots of new coming for you guys.
New stuff. Hold on. These are kind of slippery, so they don't want to stay. We have the Devil, which is boundaries.
Okay.
Not really focusing. I feel like you need to focus on your boundaries. And then we have the Eight of Wands, which is communication.
Okay.
So for me, right off the bat, like you're starting a new phase. Like you may have just went through an ending and like you're kind of being encouraged to take off, like to jump off the cliff and like trust in spirit because they're giving you a new start. So they're gifting you something and like it's coming fast and like you might still be dealing with some old like thought patterns and old insecurities and things that are kind of holding you back right now. And what they want you to do is instead of, being stuck in this vortex that's happening on this card, they want you to see how this owl, I'm actually going to hold this up and try to get it to focus again because this owl's in a cage, right? But the door's open. Like they're free to go, but they're stuck in this cage. And like this person is stuck in this tornado. Like I feel like you're kind of in this stuck place and spirit's like, we opened the door for you. Like we've given you this new opportunity and we want you to take the leap. Like don't self-sabotage yourself and keep yourself in this cage because when you are able to get out of whatever this is, whether this be a situation, a thought pattern, something that's holding you back, like when you're able to do that, you're going to take off because the Eight of Wands is all about quick communication. Like it's very fast communication.
Yeah.
So for me, like that's really like we've given you this new start. So take the leap, get out of your head, and it's going to go fast.
I think you'll be surprised at how quickly things change when you surrender because what I'm getting from this group especially with the Devil is control because the Devil is Capricorn. So like it's an earth sign. So it makes me think of like, and you could be a Capricorn, but it could also just be like you have it in your chart somewhere. But even if you don't have any Capricorn, I mean, you have Capricorn somewhere in your chart because the stars didn't fall out of the sky the day you were born.
Yeah.
But like, but I mean, like if it's not one of your major placements, that doesn't really matter because what I'm saying, I think still applies to this group in the sense that like, I think that there is a lot of control issues with this group and you guys always want to know the outcome, know the next step. You want to make sure that like you're on the right path, that you're doing this, that you're doing that you know where you're going, that you know how it's going to end, that you know this, the next year, like you know what you're going to eat for lunch, you know what you're going to have for dinner, you know what I mean? Like now I need to know, no, and spirit's like, no.
You don't.
Like the other kind
don't
of
need
no.
To. Yeah, like no, you don't need to know everything.
Yeah. You need
For
to
sure.
breathe and you need to trust yourself. Like, and again, like this was in the last group, but I feel like this group is very different from the last group, but the song Ego came out in the last group and I feel like that's very prevalent here. I think that like, because our ego is both a beautiful thing and something that can hold us back because our ego is that part of us that doesn't like change, that is like, and of course, like I think a lot of people think of the ego as being like, oh, you're egotistic, like you're egotistical, like you only think about yourself. And it's like, no, the ego is much more complex than that. But the ego does the job of keeping us safe, keeping us protected. The ego helps us have confidence and like, in our personal power. Again, one of the reasons we chose Hobie for the solar plexus, so plug for that. But ego is that song about having that like personal power. And right now, like I have this sharp like pain on my like lower abdomen, which is kind of around where your solar plexus sacral chakra is. And so for me, for this group, I think you guys have like a hit to your confidence right now, and you guys are feeling kind of low and kind of down. And part of that is because I think you guys won't let go of control. And you are, being offered this new beginning and this new start and this new journey, but you're not taking it because of fear. And I think that is really the thing that's holding you back right now. And like, as I'm saying that, my throat is getting tighter and tighter. So I feel like that is a big truth for you guys, that you don't want to swallow. You don't want to swallow letting go of control, because that means you have to face the unknown, so you gotta frozen it up and go into the unknown.
Yeah, use your wisdom, which the owl is a symbol of wisdom. Like, listen to your heart, your intuition, and your inner soul, like your actual soul. Don't listen to your ego. Don't listen to the fear. Don't listen to the, oh, what could happen and what couldn't happen, and oh man, and I didn't do this and I didn't do that, and like now I don't know if I should do that. Like, put those thoughts aside and breathe and just say, what is it that I want right now? Not what do I think I should do, or what is it that I didn't do, or what is it that could happen that could be really bad? Like, it doesn't matter. You don't know the outcomes. And we kind of went over that in the last group just a little bit, as far as like Lena had a story about how she talked with her therapist recently, and like there was this, you don't know either way whether it's going to fail or whether it's going to be successful. Like, there's a 50-50 chance, and like it could go either way. So like, you can either hold yourself back and sit in your fear and miss it and not do it and be upset about it, or you can try and change that what if to what if it can, or what if it does. Like, don't sit in the what if it doesn't, because that's just going to bring you down and make you sit there and be stuck in fear. Change it to the what if it does, and that's going to let you move forward and let you be free.
And if you're like, well, I can't get to that what if it does place because I just don't believe it, like something my therapist recommended to me is being like, well, don't think then like what if it does, just be like, just I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna move forward anyway, no matter what it is, good or bad. Like, so it's just about getting yourself to be like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen, this is a risk, but I'm taking that risk. So you don't even have to necessarily believe 100% like, oh, but what if it does take off? It'd be great if you can get there, because that's going to help you a lot more. But if you can't, and you're like, no, I really can't, like, I don't know, like, it's like, okay, well, just take a baby step and then take another baby step, and then just keep taking those baby steps until those baby steps become big steps, and then you're moving. Whereas instead of doing nothing, so or keeping yourself from doing something. So I think that's very, very adamant, like something that's, I feel, is being very pressed for this group. Take those baby steps.
I agree. We're going to go into your oracle cards because we have quite a few of them. So we'll go in and see kind of what they're saying. And this group actually got an extra one too. But you got get grounded, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. You got 2 crystal cards. So your first one is rose quartz, open up your heart. And your second one is rhodochrosite, which is remember your worth.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say that I think this group needs to open up their heart to themselves.
You got indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So like I said, listening to your intuition and your heart. You got, as your little like pop of encouragement, you got honor thyself. It says, just curious, when was the last time you looked into a mirror and addressed yourself as gorgeous, magnificent, or sublime? It matters. Here's looking at you, gorgeous. The universe. P.S. Okay, hubba hubba counts.
Cute.
Yes. For your, and I'm actually going to cover some of these up here. For your affirmation, you got, I believe in the person I am becoming.
I love that. You guys need that in this group.
Yes, this is one that you can use on a daily basis. For your encouragement card, you got take the road less traveled and you'll find joy. And then for the last card, I'm actually going to read this from the book. This is a journaling prompt deck. But you got number 5, which is befriend your fear monster. So let me go ahead and grab that really quick. And those numbers could be important to you, whether they're lucky numbers. You got 44 and 5. So 44 could be a master number, so it might not reduce. But if it does reduce because it's above the normal master numbers, it's number 8. So that could be important. So for befriend your fear monster, just as you are about to step forward in all your fullness and authenticity of remembering your greatest work in the world, the fear monster interjects. Who am I to do this great work? Will my health suffer? Will my family be neglected? What if somebody else does this better? I don't have the resources I need. I don't know enough to make this happen. No matter what you've already achieved, fear seems to change and morph to get to you from another angle. The fear monster whispers, what if you don't live up to your fullest potential here? There's a reason we hold on to these fears. Somehow they serve us, and that's in quotes. For example, fear can prevent us from starting a new endeavor, thereby saving us from failing. There could be an old pattern or story you are still living out. However, you cannot truly get in alignment with your greatest work until you walk through the darkness. So what's the solution? Feel fully. Allow your fear to move through you without giving into it. Befriend your fear monster. For the cosmic catalyst, you got what purpose are my fears serving? So that's a question to ask yourself that you can journal about. And it says cosmic checkbox. Spend at least an hour in a pitch black room alone with your thoughts to face the darkness. If you can, find a sensory deprivation tank, a pitch black, light-proof, soundproof environment heated to the same temperature as your body. Now, another thing you can do, obviously, if you don't have access to that, is to meditate, because that's honestly what you try to get to a point where you can quiet everything down enough that you can listen to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Meditation is super helpful as someone who suffers with, anxiety and intrusive thoughts. I find that meditation sometimes can be really hard when you're going through that, especially if you have quite a racing mind, but it's also really helpful at the same time because you learn to just kind of observe and to just be like, oh, that's just a thought, interesting, and just let it keep flowing by. And now I kind of, after some practice, I kind of have that ability to meditate without realizing that I'm meditating, in that essence of yes, sometimes my thoughts do get the better of me, like every person, but for the most part on a daily basis, I have this disorder, and I will for the rest of my life, and that's something that I just have to deal with. But I remember when I first went to my therapist and I had this situation come up, I was sobbing my eyes out because of these this immense thing that I was going through, and this is hard for me to share, so the throat chakra getting real deep here. Because this is such a I feel it's such a sensitive thing, and not a lot of people understand. But I remember I was sobbing and I kept telling her, and I was like, I don't want to be like this. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I think like this. And, she was very much, about me. She's like, well, first you need to stop blaming yourself. She was like, it has nothing to do with you as a person or who you are. It can come just from the way that your brain's wired. It can be from trauma. It can be from anything, it doesn't matter how it jumps into your life. It just could be, it is what it is. And she was always talking to me about you are not your thoughts. She's like, I sometimes will get a random thought I'm an elephant, but am I an elephant? No. You know what I mean? And a pink elephant is not just gonna appear right in front of me because I thought of a pink elephant. So the things that you're thinking, we just talked about, they're just as much of a fantasy as the good things are. So either way, whichever way of the spectrum you lean, your fears are just as much of a fantasy as the idea of getting what you want, those dreams that you want. So, when you meditate, you start to learn to be like, oh, okay, those thoughts are back again. Hello, welcome. Sit down for a second. There's this great poem that's called The Guest House. And I highly recommend looking it up for this group. I don't know who it's by, but I know my therapist shared it with me, and these readings tend to get really long. So if we didn't run so long, I would definitely read it for you because I really love that poem and I love to read it all the time. But basically the sum of that poem, if you don't end up looking it up, is that like, welcome anything that comes into your life, the good, the bad, even if it comes in and messes up your whole house, like your inner world. It was meant to teach you something, and you just welcome them and let them be there. And you just, it is what it is. And, I can say that since those first sessions with her, like I've worked on myself, and, she told me, because I always said like, oh, I just want to get rid of this. And she's like, but the thing is that like, you won't, that's the thing. She's like, but you can learn to live with it. And she's right. I have learned to live with it. Like I've kind of made friends with it, in the sense of like, oh, you're here. It's kind of like that a relative that comes around that you don't really want to see, but you kind of have to be polite to. That's kind of what it's like, and you're just like, oh, you're here. Cool. See you later. And just, you keep going about your business and your day. And I don't let what I have, like my own mental illness, hold me back from the things that I want and need in my life. Because I used to think like, oh God, how am I ever going to be in a relationship because I have like, this situation? How am I ever going to do this? How am I ever going to do that? How, can I ever go outside again? Like, you know what I mean? Like I really went through it for a while as far as that goes. And like, I'm not saying this to turn this into like oh, let's talk about me, but I'm saying this in the hopes that like you understand that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, it is important. And you need to be kind to yourself and let those fears and thoughts and everything that it said be there, and really do make friends with the fear monster. And if you guys want to talk, feel free to hit us up, like in our email, because we're always here to talk. And especially if you are dealing with like anxiety, depression, something like that, like obviously we're not a therapist, so please seek professional help always, and don't use us for a substitute for that. But we have no problem offering tips. I know that for me, like dealing with intrusive thoughts and things like that, I have a lot of tips and like quotes that I saved up that really helped me. Like I'm thinking of a bunch of them right now, and like I said, if I had the time, I would read them all to you, because I really feel the need to, like, my heart really goes out to this group and wanting to like really help you guys like conquer those fears. And words, for me, they mean a lot to me. So for you guys, maybe words mean a lot to you, and that's why I'm bringing this up, in that like poetry or spoken word or like TED Talks or things like that can really like get to you. Or maybe it's music, maybe lyrics mean a lot to you. And so I just really feel, like I said, very passionate. Like, I'm sorry to be on my soapbox for so long in this group, but I feel very passionate. And so I just want to leave that offer here. If you need help, if you need quotes, if you need some resources, I have no problem linking them to you. And just, hang in there, you guys. I feel like you guys are going through it, but just hang in there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I do feel like if you chose this group, like you might be going through a little bit of a heavier time. Like you might have fears that are coming up and you might be feeling overwhelmed. But if, you're not like in a super dark place right now, like if you are okay and you chose this group, like for me, I feel like it's very much about connecting to your heart and very much knowing that like you need to be nice to yourself and you need to take care of yourself in a way that you would take care of others, and know that you are developing into something. You are going through this in order to become a better version of yourself and to love yourself and to be happy, because the universe does not want you to be upset. Like they don't want you to hurt. It doesn't, like, spirit doesn't want you to feel pain. Like they want you to be happy. They want you to be living your best life and doing the things, that you love to do. And like they're trying to help you develop. And one thing that holds you back is fear, right? One thing that holds you back is listening to your ego and listening to those things. And I think that that's very much like, believe in yourself, honor yourself, love yourself is very much what I'm getting for this group. Like it's about you, not about anybody else, not about, what other people are saying to you or about you. It's not about like what you should do. It's kind of that vibe that I'm getting. Like, don't give in to that whole like, well, if you do this, then you'll be safe. Like, because at any point in time, you never know what's going to happen in life. And so if you give into those fears, if you hold yourself back and you sit in, like, you're sitting in this dark place and going, I don't know, it doesn't seem safe to go out there. Like, well, you're still stuck in this darkness. Like, it's safer outside where the sun is. So
Mhm.
come out. Like, befriend that monster and say, hey, you want to come outside with me? Like, you want to go outside where there's sunshine, where we can breathe? That'd be great. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And like, I agree with Lena. Like, if you need somebody to talk to, or you want someone to give you advice or resources or anything like that, like, we can do that. I am somebody who, words are important in a different way for me. um, Words are important through lyrics for me. Like, I do read, like, I love books, I love learning, but for me, like, when I'm really going through it, I need music. Like, that's my go-to. And for me, like, it doesn't even have to have lyrics sometimes, but it does help, when you have someone that's gone through that same thing, you can feel that emotion and like let that out and kind of breathe through it. Like, that might be something that helps you out a lot. Especially if you're trying to tap into your heart chakra, which these are 2 heart chakra crystals. So again, like, I feel like it's heavy in your heart right now. Like, there's something that you're afraid of, and like, spirit's like, you have everything you need to jump. And like, you're afraid of this thing. Yes, we acknowledge that. Like, you're in this cycle, but like, just take the leap, believe in yourself, because it's gonna get better from here.
Mhm.
And I know that that was a lot, but you guys, I think we both feel very strongly that this group really needed that.
Mhm.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and see what is in your little treasure chest here. So this is gonna be, what is your truth? So we'll go ahead and open it. And we haven't seen these yet, so we have no idea what's in here. Yeah, we can't make this up. You got hope. So there's hope. Like, have hope. It's gonna be okay.
Mhm.
Like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna get through it. You always do. And like, it may not seem like it sometimes. Like, it may be really heavy, and you're like, oh, this is awful. And like, I don't even know if this is my path. Like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know any of this. Like, seek out a therapist, seek out a counselor, like, talk to somebody about it if you need to open up, work through it. Like, don't let yourself get to the point where you're like beating yourself up over it either. That's another thing. Like, have that hope and know that like, you're exactly where you need to be right now, and it's going to be okay, because you're always going to be okay. Like, it's always going to be okay is kind of the thing that I feel like I need to keep reiterating to this group. It's going to be okay. You got a couple letters. You got R and Z. So
Rest and zen are what are coming to me from those.
yeah, so those could be, the beginning of words. So rest and zen, definitely important for this group, is finding a place where you can just zen out. Like, I feel like, with the grounding card, like, I feel like you're too much in your head right now, and you could be over grounded, but I also feel like some of you are not grounded at all right now.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like it's kind of a mix. Like, you're either overly grounded and you're too much in that stability of like, oh, well, I need it to be safe, and I need it to be structured, and I need it to be, and like, I'm a Virgo stellium. We talked about that in the last group too. But like, I always am like, oh, I need it to be safe and secure, and like, because earthy, right? So it's always about like that stability, but sometimes I can get over grounded. And when that happens, I kind of have to breathe, go do something like meditate or find something zen to do, listen to some music, watch something funny, get out of my head. And I feel like that's what
Mhm.
they mean with this like rest and zen.
Yes, and definitely rest, because I'm like passing out right now. So you guys need some rest.
Yes, I
I
felt
think
when we
you're,
got to this group, I got really heavy. Like,
yeah.
not like emotionally. I mean, yes, emotionally, but also like tired heavy.
Mhm. Your soul needs a nap.
Your soul needs to sleep for a little bit. You got, yeah, you got the 3 keys. So for me, this is like, you already, Lena and I talk about the keys whenever they come out, but it's basically about like, you already have everything you need. You already have all of the keys, and you have the key ring. So like, you have the keys to unlock multiple things right now. And like, you don't need to worry about like, oh, do I have everything? Have I done everything? Do I need to do anything? Like, you already have everything you need. So, it's okay to not panic about that. for a little bit. Like, it may not seem like you have everything you need. It may seem like, oh, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. And like, it's a matter of, again, breathing through it and knowing like you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now, and you have everything you need to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You got, let's see if I can get it out. You got the Star of David, which it is, when we filmed this, very close to Christmas time in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And Hanukkah and stuff. So like, it could just be a nod that like the holiday season is important. But for me, like with the star, when you have the star card is all about that hope, right? So that goes right along with that hope. And it's about dreams and like, having faith after the tower has crumbled, coming out of it and knowing that it's going to be okay. Again, another time, just to reiterate that for you. But I feel very much like that's about hope.
I agree.
And to go right along with that, we have the blue moon with the star.
Oh, the blue moon. Yeah, that's the Believe in the Impossible card in the Moonology deck.
And then again, the star, another reiteration of hope and dreams. And the moon can be about dreams too. So
The moon's
believing in the
also about
impossible.
intuition.
Believing in the impossible, using your intuition, because this card said I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Using your intuition and having that hope and knowing that it's going to be okay and you're on the right path, you're going the right way for you, and that whatever you do is the right decision for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 more charms in here. So you have the dolphin, which is about being playful and carefree. It's very much about like, not letting things weigh you down and being able to swim through the water and like being able to, do the things that make you happy, because that's going to help you be light and playful and have fun. Like, that's going to help your soul rest. Rest doesn't always mean napping. I mean, I do think this group really needs a nap, but I think that rest can also mean for you, like finding those ways to have fun and to play.
Mm-hmm.
And to go right along with that, like, you have the rocking horse.
Yeah, inner child.
So, listen to your inner child. That's also part of your intuition, part of your inner self. Like, listening to your inner child, listening to what you really want and what you love and what you care about, and like nurturing that instead of being like, oh, that would never work. Like, don't do that to yourself. Go in there and say, what is it that I love to do? And then, do it. Do whatever makes you happy. Follow your heart, because that's really the ultimate goal, is to follow what you love, spread the love. Love is really the reason why we're here.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure who this message is for, but I saw like someone in like the morning who like, listening, like your inner child's like, I want ice cream, I want pizza, and you're always like, no, we can't have that, and being like very restrictive and this could not just be about ice cream or pizza. This could just be what Spirit is showing me as an example. So take it as it resonates, because this could be about like, some type of fun activity that you want to do that your inner child asks for and that you deny them and you're really harsh on them about it, and you need to, again, like Becca was talking about, be kind to yourself about it. And do I think you should have pizza or ice cream or whatever for breakfast every day? No, of course not. Again, moderation, balance, taking care of yourself, but you can let yourself have those treats sometimes. So, so for whoever that message is for, if you, one day wake up and you're like, I want to have pizza for breakfast, and you are an adult where you're allowed to do that, without your parents getting upset, then, do that for yourself. Have that pizza for breakfast that day. Or, go out and buy yourself the cupcake that you want. And again, if this has nothing to do with food and it's like, well, I used to play video games, but I don't anymore because now I'm a grown up and video games are for kids. Who says? Like you're like, okay, today after work, I'm going to make time for myself to play my, maybe you still have a Game Boy Color laying around and you're like, I want to play Pokemon. Do it. Give yourself that hour or so. Don't restrict yourself in that inner child, because those things that you love to do, they're going to help raise your vibration, make you happy, help you listen to your heart better. Like, life is not just about, work and then die. You know, it is about finding your passions and, you know, your love and, you know, going forward. And so, you know, let yourself, basically.
Mm-hmm. The last term that you have is peace. So Zen, find that place where you can find that peace inside of you. Like, do things that make you feel peaceful, that make you feel, you know, that just make you feel zen and that make you feel comfortable to be in your own
Mm-hmm.
skin. And like that could be anything. Like Lena said, that could be video games. It could be that you just need to let yourself indulge a little bit sometimes in like food. Or you know, something else. It could be that you need to laugh. It could be that you need to spend time with your friends on Zoom or Skype. Like it could be that you need family time and like, you know, obviously be safe if you go anywhere to do that with the time that we're in when we film this. But it could be any of that. And like it's just a matter of what makes you feel loved and what makes you feel whole and what makes your heart happy, because that's where you need to follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if you hear any cars outside. My neighborhood's super loud. It's fine.
It's okay. My dog was barking during pile one, and I think she's still kind of barking occasionally. So sorry about that too.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into your letters and your stickers, and then we'll do your I can't think, your cards.
Yes, your
So
chakra cards.
yes. So we'll start. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. We'll start with your letters. Get a little bit out there. And if you guys don't know, we do this. We do letters. We do a reading every week for our for the signs, and we do like a pick a card. We also do like letters and stuff for those. So if you like this, just know that we put out videos every single week that you can watch.
Mm-hmm.
Bed. You guys need to sleep more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and cat. So if you have, one thing that I know helps me a lot is I actually do have a pet cat. His name's Sebastian. What really helps me is sometimes, you know, that animal that's with you, if you have a pet, like can really help you out if you're feeling really sad or like lonely, or you just need, you know, another soul to be there. Like having that pet there for you can really help. So like if you do have a cat, or if you have a dog, or if you have a pet, that's something that could be for you, that like that might help you nurture your soul a little bit, is to, excuse me, is to spend time with that animal, because they could be, you know, they could be a familiar if you're spiritual. It could be a spirit animal. It could be, you know, just something that makes you feel better because it's something that shows you love and that you love back. And pets are known for giving unconditional love, right? Because they don't really have an ego. Like
Mm-mm.
they don't have anything that blocks them from giving love. So it's really nice if you can spend time with them. And then of course bed, like please sleep at night. Like I know sometimes it's hard because like I struggle with depression and anxiety. Like I'm diagnosed with those. And like sometimes it is really hard. Like some days you don't want to sleep at all. Like you can't sleep because you're just so like anxious or like up, and you're just like thinking about everything that's going on, and it's really hard to sleep. And then sometimes you sleep all the time. So it's just one of those things of like trying to find balance in there. And like if you are feeling anxious or depressed, like finding a way to, you know, one, accept that it's okay, first of all, because like don't beat yourself up over having, you know, a disorder, or for having so much anxiety or stress that like you can't sleep, or you're sleeping too much, or you're not, you know, like, or you're really tired. Like don't beat yourself up for it, but find a way to balance it out. So that could be like if you're feeling really anxious, do a meditation or listen to some music, or, you know, watch an ASMR video about needing, you know, one that helps you sleep at night. Like that could be something that really helps you. If you sleep all the time, like again, don't beat yourself up for it. If you're depressed, like getting out of bed in the morning sometimes is like the best thing you can do that day. And that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like
Mm-hmm.
if that's all you can do that day is to pull yourself up so that you can get some water and a snack, like you still got out of bed. And if you can't get out of bed, you still woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a matter of taking those steps. And again, like baby steps are really important. So, you know, again, like try to find that balance and to not beat yourself up over it.
Agreed. I'm really sorry. I'm having such a hard time right now with my cognitive functions are just not working, and I think that's also just because that's something that's kind of going on with this group right now, is that you guys are like very foggy. Like that's kind of what my thought process feels like. It's very foggy. Like I feel very like um almost like in the dark with myself, and I think like what spirit wants, I'm seeing them like turn on a light. So they want you to turn on a light because, you know, with those three keys, you already have the light, but it's like, it's not so much like you're choosing to sit in the dark, because I don't think anyone really chooses to do that, but it's more like they want to show you the way out. Like they want to show you the tunnel out, but you're afraid to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the visualization that I'm getting. That it's very much like, well, I know where I'm supposed to go maybe, but I don't know. And
Yeah.
then you guys have ego too in your letters, which I think Becca already had. So
Yeah. So you have Ego, which is a very great BTS song by Hobie. So check that song out. But, you know, again, like don't let yourself sit in your ego, but your ego's not always bad either. Like, you know, a lot of people make it out to be the villain. But the thing is about the ego is you have to nurture the ego too. Like you don't just beat it up and be like, stop doing this, you suck. Like, no, you have to nurture that ego and say it's going to be okay. Like I know that you're freaking out right now, but I promise you it's going to be fine. We just need to, you know, find a way to calm down and breathe through it. And like I also got taco, and the reason why you might have heard me like shuffling is because like I for some reason this sticker came up, but this is ham gum, which is Kiki's sticker. It's Kihyun's sticker. But it's from Mexico. And so like I'm getting like taco came out too. And for some reason I just felt the need to grab the sticker and show you. But for me, like maybe you need to indulge in tacos, or maybe you're from Mexico, or maybe, you know, you have like Spanish heritage or Mexican heritage, Hispanic, whatever that may be. Like I feel like that's important for this group too in multiple ways. So like that could just be a nod for confirmation for you, or it could just be that like you need to indulge yourself in things that you love, and maybe one thing that you love is tacos. Like maybe you're really into Mexican food, because I know I love Mexican food. Like I had tacos for lunch today. So for me, that's, you know, there you go. But I feel like indulging in things like that, like those things that you love, like whether it be food, whether it be music, whether it be a video game or laughter or dancing or whatever it is, like I feel like you're being very encouraged to do that. And that could even help you out of this darker feeling. But that's what we had for your letters. Let us know if you see anything else in the letters. You can leave us a comment below and we'll definitely check it out and see. We're always interested to see what you guys get, especially with like groups like this where, you know, we are kind of going through a lot of conversation with you. We love to hear back from you. So let us know if you see anything else. But we're going to go ahead and get into a few BTS stickers for you guys. And then we'll get into the cards in a second here. Okay. I don't want to get too many, so I'm just going to grab a couple. Okay. So we have we have the BT21 gang. So I don't know how many of you watch BTS that are on this right now, or watch BTS or pay attention to BTS, but BTS has a stuffy line called BT21. And they have like videos online. So I said something about ASMR too, and that's coming up again because BT21 actually, like the company that does this, like Line Friends, they actually put out videos for BT21, and they have like some ASMR videos, and like they have like a Koya sleep music, which is Namjoon's stuffy, but they have like a sleep music one. So like that might be something that helps you. But I also feel like, you know, gathering with friends and like leaning on your support system and your family or your soul family or whatever that may be for you, like I feel like that's very important right now for this group. Let's see. We have, oh, hold on. Got stuck together. We have Jungkook with the little hearts. And he looks like he might be dancing or pointing. I feel like he's pointing ahead to like good things are coming. Like, go this way. Like, it's gonna be okay. And he's like giving you a little love and like he's all smiley and happy. Like, there's good stuff coming. Like, just the spirit is trying to give you direction right now, and I feel like they're just like, okay, it's gonna be this way and it's gonna be really good, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't see it. And it's like, that's okay, they're always gonna be here to try to show you where to go. You also have the baby Jungkook.
Oh yeah, that inner child.
So spending time with that inner child and like going through and like, nurturing that inner child, playing and dancing and like eating the things you want, and like, letting yourself be playful and like leaning into those things that make you happy. You've got a celebration with Jin and RJ. So it could be that you have a birthday coming up, or it could just be you have a celebration coming up of some sort, whether that be like, a celebration like a birthday or a party of some sort, or maybe the holidays. Like, could be any of that, but it could also just be like a celebration of where you are right now, and like knowing that where you are is enough, and like knowing that you've already gotten through a lot of stuff, and like looking back on that and being like, okay, well, I have a reason to celebrate because look how far I've come.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that with this too. This is Cookie and Shooky.
Oh, I love that celebration, joy. Like, you guys
Mm-hmm.
are gonna be very excited and very happy once you take that leap.
Yes. Right now you might be in kind of a dark place,
Mm-hmm.
and like it might seem like there's not very many ways out, but you can see like there's even like spotlights back here. Like, I feel like if you turn around, or like if you just, quiet yourself down enough to see those lights and to follow them, like you're coming out of this. Like, I feel like this is very much like the way is lit, and like you're ready, and like you may feel really down right now, but just know that like the way is there for you and it's going to be okay. And like when you're ready to turn around and follow those lights, they're going to be there. You have Yoongi with Don't Repost. This is him with his little like, he's got his hand raised. He looks actually kind of like he's dancing, but he's super chill and zen. He wears sunglasses, which for me, like this is very much about like inner strength. And like we know that Yoongi is the throat chakra. So like expressing yourself in whatever way that you express yourself, but also like, doing the things that are for you is kind of the vibe that I'm getting from that. Like, don't care about like what other people think or what other people say. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting from this. Like, a very like powerful energy of like being in yourself is kind of where you're coming from this. And I think that might be part of where you're going right now. And that might be why this is so hard, is because you are stepping into this new level of yourself. And like this new level is more empowered, and you're working on learning how to love yourself right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. You guys are definitely working on how to love yourself right now, and I'm getting like a lot of like I said, like very confused imagery, and a lot of like sitting in the dark and like just wanting the door to be opened, and for and it's like, but as we talked about, we have the bird with the cage, the door is open, so the door being closed that you see is an illusion. It's not really closed, so you can step out of that cage at any time.
I actually just noticed that this fell, and I didn't notice it. It's a cat charm. And you guys had cat come out in your letters. So cats could be really important to this group. And cats are really independent too. So one thing with cats, I guess, now that we have the charm too to go with it, so that could be confirmation. But one thing with cats is they are very independent creatures, but again, like they are very able to love, and like cats take care of themselves. Like they're very independent. They're very like, oh, right now I want to eat, so I'm going to eat. And right now I want to nap, so I'm going to nap. And right now I want to play, so I'm going to play. Like cats do whatever they want whenever they want. Like they're kind of known for being that way. And I feel like this group kind of needs to embody that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last sticker that we have Chimmy, and he's napping. It's funny because he's got like the celebration hat on, like the party hat, but he's sleeping.
Yeah. You guys need to rest so that you can enjoy and celebrate those victories that come through.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So again, rest, zen, finding things that calm you down is definitely a big thing for this group. Let me go ahead and we're going to get into your chakra cards that we made. So I'm going to draw 4 of them for you. See if they stick to 4. Sometimes they like to send out more than that, but we'll see. You got for your first one. Yeah, not surprised. You got the heart chakra. This is Tay. It says, the me of yesterday, the me of today, the me of tomorrow. I'm learning how to love myself with no exceptions. It's all me. Love Yourself by BTS. Yes, also very fitting for this group. Okay, for your number 2, you got J-Hope, solar plexus chakra. Guess what? It's ego. It came out in the first group. Into my heart come answers from my most trusted. Only one hope, only one soul. Ego, BTS. Get you 2 more. So again, like trust yourself. Like listen to your heart. Yeah, and then they sent out 2 more. So they sent out third eye chakra. This is I am Kihyun from MONSTA X. We are connected, we are one, and you are not alone. So if you're feeling alone right now, like if you're feeling really in the darkness, like you have people that you can reach out to that love you. You can reach out to us, you can reach out to a therapist, you can reach out to any family or friends, soul family, whoever that may be, like spirit, whoever that is, like you can reach out and you have people that are here to support you. And then the last one we have is again Ego by BTS. I don't know if that's come
that
out
song
enough.
is very important for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know if that's come out enough in this group, but solar plexus chakra, it's J-Hope. Choices by my fate, so we're here, look ahead, the way is shining, keep going now.
Yeah, you guys need to not give up and keep going down your path.
Yeah, definitely. So that is what we had for this group. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a like, a comment, hit subscribe. If you want to, you can pick one of the other piles if you want to watch them. Again, if you want to reach out to us, our information is in the description box as well as a playlist for your throat chakra. So if you want to go listen to that, that'll have some music on it. Maybe that'll help you out through this time. But we do hope that you guys enjoyed the reading, and thank you for letting us talk to you for so long and listening if you're still here. But otherwise, we hope that you have a good rest of your week.
Yes, and sorry, it kind of, like I said, you guys have some very, get some rest, you guys, because I'm feeling, like I said, there was a lot going on in my, brain while Becca was talking, and I felt like there were so many messages from your guides that, like, my body got a little overwhelmed. So, I think the last parting message that I want to leave with you guys is, like, even if you're like, oh, I'm not good at tarot yet or anything like that, okay, so watch more picket cards, or practice tarot. Like, I feel like very much like your guides want to communicate with you and they want to help you through this, but they can't do that unless we ask. So I think that's a big message, and that's probably why they were trying to send so many messages for Becca and I, because I don't think they hear from you guys enough. So definitely try and reach out to them.
For sure. And if you guys need help with that, let us know. We would be totally willing to help you with that. So otherwise, let us know if you need anything, if you need a friend. But otherwise, we hope you guys have a good time. Have a good rest of your week.
Yes. Bye, guys.
If you chose pile 3, you chose the Jungian Shooky sticker.
Oh.
I know, so cute. So we have tarot cards, we have oracle cards, we have this little chest here that has what your throat chakra is holding. So like, what is your truth? So we'll look in there and we'll see. We also have BTS stickers, we have letters, and then we also have at the end, we'll do our chakra cards that we made that have BTS and MONSTA X on them, and then they have like quotes and lyrics on them as well. And I've been doing this for every group because I didn't do it in the intro, but we picked these 2. We picked Yoongi from BTS and Kihyun from MONSTA X because of their personalities and what they embody. Yoongi is a very vocal rapper, and then Kihyun is a lead vocal for MONSTA X. So with these 2, like they're both very expressive of their opinions, and they put a lot of their heart and their soul into what they do. So that being like singing and writing lyrics and like rapping and things like that. Yoongi also goes by August D. So if you haven't heard his solo stuff, it's great. I recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. Sorry, guys, I had to sneeze. Anyways, so with this, like, they very much are very bold and very honest and very open, and they're very expressive, like loud expressively, not like, I mean, like, yes, they both, like, Kiki is very loud in the sense of like vocal range is outrageous, and Yoongi's loud in his lyrics, but they both are very just expressively loud and like in a good way, because they really pull out like that throat chakra energy with them, and that's why we chose them for this group. Well, for this reading. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll get started with your tarot, and we'll see kind of, what is your throat chakra trying to tell you? What does it want you to know? And what can we do from there? So the first thing we'll do is your tarot cards. So we're going to start. We have the 6 of coins. We have strength. We have the King of Wands. And we have the 3 of Wands. I don't know if that one's going to focus for you. But what I'm getting from this is going to focus or not. There we go. What I'm getting from this is very much this vibe of like, for you to, I feel like there's this need for you to express yourself by working with others in a creative manner. So what I'm getting is like your strength lies in working with others and like being generous, not necessarily financially. I mean, if you can, then yes, but like I feel like this is more about generosity in the sense of working with others, like with your creativity, with like knowledge, with learning and teaching and things like that. Like I feel this is creative energy. This is working with, other people, but also waiting for like your ships to come in. So like right now you might be in a period of like waiting, but I feel like your strength is going to come from working with people, using your creativity, and that's going to help you get through this period of waiting to get to, more things. So like if you've been working on like manifestation, or if you've been working on, working towards a future that, you're building right now, like I feel like it's very much telling you like you're doing fine, like you're just in a waiting period, but if you, to move forward faster, or to feel like it's going faster, I guess, not necessarily move forward faster, to feel like it's going faster, work with these other people, put your creative ideas out there, express them, and like create something with everyone that you love, like create things with people that you care about, and like work together to build something is kind of what I'm getting.
Basically what I was getting off of these cards right away is that you guys might be someone who you're used to having to, like, it reminds me of the person who always gets everything in a group project dumped on them, and everybody's like, oh, well, they're smart, so they'll figure it all out, and then they'll tell us what to do, like that type of energy. And I feel like this group is somebody who tends to, you're used to shouldering a lot of the burden and a lot of the weight. And so from what I'm getting from this is like, let people help you. So if someone comes in and they're like, I want to loan you the money to start up your business, and they're like a reputable source, like of course, if it's on sketch, you do your research, be safe, please. I don't want anyone to get screwed over, but I'm saying like, if like for example, like say that you have a great relationship with your parents, and your parents say, you tell your parents about this dream, and they're like, I want to help you. We're going to take out a loan against the house. We believe in you, and we're going to help you get funding for your business. And then I'm seeing 444 on the clock right now because it's 4:44 for me. So that could be significant for you guys, which is about foundation, stability. Anyway, but as I'm going through this, it could be that they believe in you so much that they're willing to take out the loan, because they know that when you make that money and your business is successful, that you're going to pay them back. And you might be like, no, I don't want you to do that. Like, no, don't bend over backwards for me. Like, don't do that. Like, or the other side, some of us can be prideful, and that's not, I have a Leo moon, so I understand. You might be like, no, I don't need your help. I can do it on my own. I don't need anyone's help. Sometimes we get like that as well. But really from this group, I'm getting more of the sense of you guys don't want to put people out more than anything else. And you don't want to be and you don't want to owe someone. Like, I know that I can be that way in the sense of like, I really don't like when I owe someone money. Like if I borrowed money from them, that really gets to me because I feel like every time I see them, like that I'm then indebted to them. Like it's not supposed to be like that. If someone is loaning you money and you're trying your best to like get that money back to them in the time that you guys set and said that you would, then there shouldn't be pressure. And if there is, then once you pay them back, I would definitely never borrow money from them again, because it shouldn't be like that if you're being generous, which is what the Six of Pence is all about. And anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little bit on a tangent here, but my point is that if you have someone who is a reputable source or a banker or something, and you need to take out that loan and you need to get that generous offer, because sometimes that's what the Six of Pence is about, is not just like you giving, but sometimes it is about you receiving. And I feel like that's where this group might struggle, is on the receiving end. So, like, yes, work together with people. Definitely. I was definitely picking up on that. But also for some of you, this is about having trouble receiving. Someone might come in and want to offer you something and offer you help, and you need to take it for your things to kind of come into fruition. Like, have the strength to love yourself enough to accept that help and take that offer. Believe in yourself enough to know that these things are going to come for you, and that you will be able to pay that person back. Or, and again, it could not be monetary. Maybe it's they're going to put in hours for you in your business for free, and then you're going to pay them back by, when you get the money, by buying them a vacation or that thing they really want. You know what I mean? You're going to give back. Like, I don't feel like this group is selfish at all. You don't have any intention to want to take advantage of people, but so you need to know how to receive, because life is a give and take, a yin and yang, a push and pull. This person wants to give to you, and you need to allow them to do so.
Yeah, definitely. All right. We'll get into your oracles and kind of see what's going on there. So we have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do?
Oh.
We have blue lace agate, find your calm. For what you're working on right now, you got happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Sorry, my camera's having some issues focusing tonight, so apologize. We have, for your little pop of love, we have you needn't worry. And it says, there's no one in your life who hasn't always loved you. They're all just learning how to show it. Big sillies, the universe. For your affirmation, you got all I desire is on its way to me.
Ooh, I love.
For your inspiration card, you got everything will work out in the end. And then this card, I'm being told to read from the book for these because these are actually journaling prompt cards. But you got you are perfectly imperfect. Number 34. And then the all I desire is on its way to me is number 3. So 7 and 3 or 34 could be important numbers to you. I'm actually going to put this.
And you guys have that 444. So 3 and 4 might be important to you as well.
Yes. And I'm going to go ahead and find this one, and we'll read it from the book. And it says, we somehow want to be seen as perfect with absolutely no defects, holes, or scars, but those imperfections make you more beautiful rather than less. They give you more empathy and more strength to face anything. When your heart is cracked wide open, the light finds its way in. That's how the song of our soul can flow into our lives. Crack wide open. Your pain has meaning. Your sorrow has held tremendous significance beyond what you may have considered already. Embrace it all, because your healed wounds become the medicine our world desperately needs now. Your cosmic catalyst, so this is a journaling prompt, is what greater meaning can I now see coming from my greatest suffering? Your cosmic checkbox is list 5 situations that cracked you wide open, then take an elevated view. What have you learned from those situations? What good things in your life would you not have without having experienced that situation or having learned what you did? So for me, like, this kind of goes back to, again, like you are in, like I said, I feel like this group is in a waiting period. And like, you might be worrying right now because you're like, oh gosh, nothing's really happening the way that I thought it would. And like, I'm kind of nervous that I'm not on the right path or I'm not doing the right thing. Like, I feel like there is some worry in this group, But I also feel, you know, because there's a lot about trusting your path, like a lot
Mhm.
about trusting your path. And like, I think it's all about, like Lena said, like allowing things to come in because they are coming. So like, don't block them off and don't like tread backwards just because you're worried that they're not coming. Like,
Mhm.
you have, you know, like find your calm, happiness. I think right now you might be starting to come into a new energy of like using this strength. And I think that spirit really wants you to like get into that. Like find that place of happiness, of calm, of strength, lean into it and use that to your advantage. And then when those things come in, you'll be in a higher vibration. It's also going to help them come in. Like you're going to be able to accept them easier if you're in that higher vibration, because that's just naturally how like things like manifestation work. Is the higher your vibration, the easier it is for those things to get to you. But again, like Lena said, like when they do get to you, like make sure that you have the door open for them and you're accepting them and not, you know, being like, oh, well, I don't know, like if I'm going to have to pay this back, like I don't know if I can do that. Like if these offers are coming into you and you can see that it's a good, reputable offer, like take it, because this is something that is coming to you for a reason, is what I'm getting. So like if you are worrying right now and you're like, oh, I just don't know if anything's coming in, and then like something happens where like you get an offer and you're like, well, I don't know if that's exactly what I thought it was going to be, and like maybe this is just a test, like, you know, find your calm, listen to your heart, because again, I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. So if this thing comes in, you're extremely happy about it, you're feeling really calm, you're feeling really grounded in your energy, like, and you can tell that it's from a reputable source, like take it, because that's a gift.
Mhm. Yeah, very much. And this could even just be a gift from the universe, because sometimes we even have trouble receiving those. And so that's something that I'm getting to for this group is like, you know, if there's a gift coming in from the universe and you're afraid, you know, basically, I know it's hard to believe, but just like, don't be is kind of what I'm getting. Like, I know that just sounds so simple because it's like, well, what do you mean don't be? I can't just not be afraid. And it's like, I know, like it seems like such a simple message, but sometimes that really is what we need to hear, is like the very simple message of like, if you're afraid, don't be. And you're just like I always think like you know, if you're not religious or anything, that's completely fine, like, you know, take what resonates. But I always think of those, you know, Bible quotes, they're always very simple like that. They're always like, do not be afraid, like put your faith in me. And you're like, well, what do you mean? Like, don't be afraid. Like, how do I just not be afraid? Like, if I knew how to not be afraid, then I wouldn't be afraid. And it's like, you know, but and that's kind of the energy that I get from you guys, that you're like, well, what do you mean don't be afraid? I don't know how to not be afraid. Like, I don't know how to not, like, some of you guys might have a little bit of a control issue. I don't think it's as heavy as, like, you know, as some people can have, but I do feel a little bit of one. And it's just, and I think it more comes from the fact of you guys don't want to be wrong. And you guys don't want to find out like in a couple months that you've wasted your time. But the thing is that like it makes me think of that card, like nothing is wasted. So even if like it's a little bumpy getting to where you need to go, there's nothing that's wasted here, because you're learning, and I think you're changing a lot. And so that, you know, and right now it's just about trusting, relying on that strength to trust that these things are coming, because you had a lot in here about like, I know that what I desire is on its way to me. Like, and that small card, can you pick it up again, Becca? The white card. Yes, that one about like everything will work out in the end. That's the thing that I think you guys are like stuck on, is like you guys are like, well, it's never worked out before. And it, you know, that's been a running theme in all the groups. It's like, maybe not, but like it's something that we talked about in the last pile too, and the pile before that. But I recently had a conversation with my therapist about how like everything has a 50-50 shot always. You can either fail or succeed, but if you don't try, you will never know which one it's going to be. And so, you know, my therapist said this to me and it really clicked and resonated with me. She said, the failure is just as much of an illusion as and a fantasy as the success. Both are a fantasy. One is going to happen. You don't know which one, so you might as well go for it. And I was like, she's right. I can't argue with that. I don't have any facts or logic or proof to show her that I'm destined to fail just as much as she can't show me facts or logic or proof that I am destined to succeed. You don't know. And you have to just try and trust. And then if you have this offer and it comes in, and again, if it seems, you know, you've done your research, it seems stable, it seems like a good opportunity, seems like it's good people, then go for it. Accept the gift, because it probably is from the universe. It's probably on your path. It's probably something that you need to do. Maybe it won't be exactly what you want. Like maybe you're like, well, it's a contract with, you know, where I'll technically, like, I wanted to work for myself, but I have to kind of like report to this person about what I'm doing because it's their money, and that's not really what I wanted to do. And it's like, right, but maybe you're going to work for them for 6 months until you get on your feet, and then you're going to suddenly be fine and stable on your own, and you're going to be able to not work for them anymore. Like, you know, you just don't like, and that could not be the case. Maybe you are going to get an opportunity that helps you work on your, you know, by yourself. And but I'm just throwing out ideas here, and I feel very much that that's kind of the thing that's holding you guys back, is that fear that, you know, don't be afraid, basically. Like, I know, like I said, it sounds so simple, but it really is true. It's just breathe, know that things are going to be okay no matter what. Everything always works out in the end. The things that you want are coming to you, and I don't think this group is shy of doing the work that it takes to get there. You know, you guys have strength, you guys have, you know, the Three of Wands, so you've sowed seeds. Now they're growing, and you know, nothing in nature blooms all year, so give yourself space and time for things to come in.
Yeah. There's a couple things that I was getting while Lena was talking. First thing is you have some green in here. I'm feeling really strongly that this group is needing to kind of use your heart chakra to your advantage. Like, I don't think that you're blocked in your heart chakra. I think actually you've already been working on it. But I feel like that's something that's really going to help you through. I know the heart chakra was big for the last group too, but I think in a different way. I think with this group, it's very much about like tapping into that and like using your heart and like following like what you feel, in the sense of like, you know, if it makes you happy, then that's what, you know, like listen to that, pay attention to that. And then another thing that popped into my head is actually the song Defying Gravity from the musical Wicked, which it's all about taking a leap and like defying gravity, like going above and beyond and like not being afraid anymore. So it's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap popped into my head. So again, like, you know, you've already taken the leap, but for me, like with Defying Gravity, it's all about like believing in it, right? So it's all about like, you've already taken that leap, you've already leapt into it, and now it's just time to let yourself float, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get into your little what is your truth? And we'll see what's in here. We haven't looked in here yet, so I have no idea what's in here. We have Nunu Gom.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah. So Nunu Gom is Shonu's Gom from MONSTA X. But Nunu Gom is a Gemini. So that could be, you know, a sign that you have. Or it could just be that you embody some of the characteristics of Nunu Gom, who is very, first of all, he loves food. Second of all, he's like the Papa Bear, because like Shonu's the leader of MONSTA X, right? So he's actually very like stoic and like calm and like very like comforting. Like he is, we actually, I'm not going to spoil it, but he is a different chakra, obviously, because he's in MONSTA X. But he actually is very like connected and grounded, and like he usually is very calm, and like he's a great dancer. He loves to eat. Like that's a very like calming energy, and you find your calm. So for me, like it's more about like maybe embodying that and like taking a step back and allowing yourself to feel calm and feel happy, and like don't I'm getting this feeling that this group tends to like overwork. So like you might be like, oh gosh, I got to keep going. I got to do all these things. I got to work harder for it to come in. Spirit wants you to stop. I think like take a breather, like back off, find a calm place, a happy place, and just breathe. Like allow it to come in. That's kind of what I'm getting. Like if you keep working yourself so hard, you're going to like break yourself down so much that you're either going to have issues where like you see it and you doubt and then you overthink and you get in your head, and like I don't think it's going to pass you by, because we always say like with destiny, like if it's destined to happen, it's going to happen. It doesn't pass you by. But I think it might, make it a little bit harder of a process when it doesn't need to be. It's kind of what I'm getting.
Yes.
So like finding your calm is really important for this group. You have the strawberry, which is all about abundance.
I love that little strawberry. Yeah, you guys have some abundance, and you guys have a lot of red and some orange in here too. So I feel like you guys are very creative, and like Becca was talking about doing things creatively as well. And then like the root, and then with the strawberry, that's even more root. So I think you guys know how to be grounded, and you know how to find stability. And so I think that's something that's very like, and stability is clearly, I feel like, important to you guys. And that might be why you're like getting a little bit nervous, because like maybe you have taken a big risk and you're like, oh God, is it going to pay off? Like, and Spirit's like, yes, you might have to get some help or different things that we're going to like get you situated. Spirit has your back, basically, is what I've gotten from.
This is the fleur-de-lis, which is actually a French symbol. But, it could be, hold on, it's not, I'm having issues with focus, but it could be that like, France is important in some way, or Paris, or this could be like a family symbol that's important to you, or just, something that you see a lot. This could be a sign for you. So like if you start seeing fleur-de-lis everywhere, like that could be a symbol that like something's coming. Or if it is a reference to France, like if you are from France, or you know someone from France, or you want to visit France, or you have a past life in France that you need to visit, like the fleur-de-lis is a French symbol as well. And it's usually connected to family.
Mm-hmm.
You have the seahorse, which is about fertility, creativity, ideas, pregnancy. So with that, I actually pick up more on the creativity. Like we said, like you have all of this stuff about like creative power. And like I feel like you are a very creative group, and you really like tapping into that is going to help you get through the waiting period.
Mm-hmm.
You have the owl, which is all about wisdom. So this could be a totem animal for you, or it could just be a symbol that you see a lot, or an animal that matters to you in some way. There it is. It could just be a really important symbol in some way. But it could also be like, a spirit guide animal or something like that. But it symbolizes wisdom. So using your wisdom to kind of move forward, and like sharing your wisdom is really important too. Like, and it's a bird, and birds are usually about freedom as well. So I feel like it's like the freedom to share your wisdom and like knowledge and like learning things and going forward. And that might also help you get through this time if you're learning new things and expanding. Like that might help you move forward if you're feeling stuck. You also got the cat, little black cat. So
They always say that black cats are bad luck, but black cats are actually good luck.
yeah. So for me, like I love cats, and like I grew up with a black cat in my family. Her name was Annie because she was an orphan and we found her. But we had Annie, and like black cats for me are a symbol of good luck. And cats are very independent creatures. They're very smart. They know what they need, and they just do whatever they want whenever they want, and it doesn't matter because like they care about taking care of themselves. But most cats have a person that they claim as their person, and like that person, like they give you such unconditional love. And I feel like either you embody the traits of this cat, or there are some traits that you can look at about being like independent, taking naps, eating what you want, like doing the things that make you happy, being playful, like being curious. Like those are all things you can embody. It could also be, again, a spirit animal or a familiar or a guide. It could be a nod to your pets.
Mm-hmm.
You have noted.
Yeah, I feel like this group, like you guys need to like start taking notes, and that can be like notes on your phone, noting your dreams, going for a walk in nature, taking notes about things that stick out to you. Like I think creative ideas come to you, and then you need to have something, some type of way, on your phone, a notebook, whatever works for you, that you can kind of write them down. Or journaling could be really important for you. I feel like that could also be a way that you express yourself by journaling, blogging, like things like that. Getting your thoughts out of your head, I feel like, is very important for you guys.
Mm-hmm. You got You're My Person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you guys are manifesting some love.
yeah, so you could be manifesting some love into your life. Like there might be somebody that's on your on their way. And I know like for me personally, like sometimes it's really hard when you're manifesting somebody because like you don't have like a set time when you are going to get here, right? And you're like,
Mhm.
okay, well did I do it right? Like am I doing something wrong? They're not here yet. Like you tend to kind of get in that overthinking of like, oh gosh, I just really want this person to be here because I want to share my life with somebody. But like the thing that I've been learning is like you have to let go of like expectations, you have to let go of outcomes, and like if you are manifesting this person, they'll come in at exactly the right time that they're supposed to. And there are going to be things that build up to that person. And one other thing is like in order to accept that person in, you have to accept yourself first. And so
Mhm.
like you have to kind of get out of your own way when it comes to that. And so like that's something that I'm learning. And I feel with the fact that this group seems to be pretty anxious, because I have had kind of like an anxious energy while reading this, like I feel like it's a matter of calming yourself down and kind of finding the things that make you happy right now and not worrying so much about the outcome or like, when is this going to happen or when are they coming? Where am I going? Like, I feel like it's very much about like, you're already here, right here and now. So spend this time that you have right now doing things that you love to do and making yourself happy and actually live your life.
Yeah, I agree that this group is anxious because I feel the need right now to like, even though I'm sitting here doing my job, I feel the need to be doing more. Like I feel the need to be doing more. Like I'm like, this is not enough. We need to be like, I need to be doing like more for work. Like I need to, like, which is silly because like I'm doing my job and I think that we're doing a great job if you ask me. So like, I don't think there's anything that we're doing that's, wrong or anything like that. But um it's that anxiousness that I feel like in my chest of like, I'm not doing enough. Like, I'm not doing what I need to do to get the things that I want. And that's the reason that, like, it's not happening. And it's like, well, slow your roll, chill out, breathe,
Hmm.
and know that you are doing everything that you need to do. And I also feel this like lump in my throat as well. So again, you guys might feel a little bit like blocked off, which might be why the expression might help you. And I think that that's really what it is. But I think you guys are doing a great job, and it's really just about calming yourself down. Like, and it really is just about being like, hey, I know it sucks to be told to be patient, because both of us hate being told that. Um, we both have fire sign placements in our chart in our big three, so it's real rough for us to be told like, hey, you have to be patient for a little longer. We're just like, why, you said that already? And they're like, and we're still saying it.
Yes.
But
Two of my big three are Aries. So like I hate being patient more than anything. Like that's something that I hate. And I know Aries are known as being impatient. Like we tend to rush head first because we're the ram. We rush head first into stuff. And like we
Mhm.
tend to like, jumping in and just getting it going and getting it done. And like, we have that fiery, passionate energy. So like, yes, very much so this feeling of like, oh my gosh, I just want it to happen and it's not happening. They keep telling me to have patience and and it's like, I feel you, man, but you have to calm down.
Yeah, exactly. We feel you, but you kind of have to chill out, Scooby Doo, and just let things happen as they're supposed to. um yeah, I mean, really, that's all you can do, right? Is just kind of let things happen as they're supposed to. I know it sucks. No one wants to hear it. It is the worst. I wish I could tell you something different, but it really is just about being patient for you guys right now. But knowing that that patience is really going to pay off, because you can just see here that Spirit is promising you that things are going to work out and that those things are coming to you that you've been desiring. So, it is, like I said, I hate having to tell people to be patient because I'm like, I'm the worst. So I understand. Like,
Mhm.
I just got a little personal reading back today that was like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait a little longer for some things to come in, and I was like, I will, but I'm sad. Like, so I understand where you
Mhm.
guys are at.
Yeah. The last term that you got is the peace sign, and this is what I mean when I say I think this group just needs to chill out. Like you got like find your calm in the peace sign, and you got the calmest calm of all of them. And like I feel like it's very much just finding your peace, like finding peace. And like I know like we talked about this in one of the other groups too, but it's very much about finding that inner place where you can rest and you can,
Mm-hmm.
like, do things that make you happy, whether that be watching something funny, playing a video game, drawing, singing, writing, dancing, exercising, going on walks, like whatever that may be that calms you down and gets you into, like, a calmer place where you can breathe and not be so anxious, like where you can get out of that anxious energy and like into like a calmer space. Like, I think that's super important for this group.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think it's super important for you guys to be in a calmer energy that's a lot more chill and, just so if you need to, I think meditation would be really great for this group. Even just 5 minutes a day, if that's all you can spare, just try to find a quiet little place, and just, try to get into that zone.
Yes, and I I have a little spiel on meditation. I'll keep it really short though, because I know like our piles tend to get really long in our chakra readings. But I, with meditation, like when I first started this journey, I was told a lot that meditation would work really well for me. Like, I was always told, like, you're going to be great at meditation. It's going to work wonders for you. Like, it's going to be really helpful, because I have a lot of anxiety issues and a lot of, like, depression. I tend to get kind of stuck in my head. And, like, at first I tried for like months and I was like, it never works for me. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, I keep trying to meditate, and like I've tried using, guided meditation, sound bowl meditations, whatever meditations I can find. I've tried them and it's not working. And it's like, I was like, I still have stuff that's going on in my head and I can't quiet it down and I don't know what's going on. And it's one of those things where you kind of have to just let it go. Like, just sit there and just don't overthink it. Like, just, I know it's really hard because, like, trust me, like I said, it took me a long time. But when you really connect to, I think guided meditations are one thing that really helped me. I had to find the right ones for me in order to move forward. And like, meditation is different for everybody too. So like, some people might meditate by going to the gym. Some people might meditate through yoga. Some people might meditate through taking a walk around the park. Some people might meditate through actually sitting there and meditating. Some might do it through music. Like, it just kind of depends. But wherever you can get to that place of like calming your brain, like, that's meditation. And like, I think guided meditation, especially for this group, is really important because it has somebody else that's kind of guiding you through it. And like, the more that you do it, the easier it gets. And the more you find that like your brain doesn't shut off. Like, it's not like you're just going to have like empty brain.
Yeah, you're not gonna have no thoughts head empty as much as we
Right.
wish.
Right. We wish that could happen, but it won't. And that's the thing, is like, the whole point is to control your breathing, like focusing on your breathing and getting your breathing to a point where like you're just paying attention to that, and like whatever thoughts pop in, you just pay attention to them like for a second, and then you go back to your breathing. And like, that helps you kind of let those thoughts be there and not let them overwhelm you, in the sense of focusing on them so hard that you're like spinning your wheels. And like,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the point of meditation. So I feel like, if you're saying right now, like, oh, I've never been able to do it, like, if you need resources for guided meditations, I know eventually we want to make our own and put them out on the channel. But
Yes.
for right now, like, if you need resources on them, like, I have some resources on some guided meditations that really helped me. And I'm somebody who has like really struggled with it. So if you want that, you can reach out to us. Our contact info is in the description.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that I think that'll be very helpful for this group.
Yes. And we also want to eventually teach like breath work as well on here. So that's something that we would like to teach. And so, like, if you need some resources for breath work, I can send you a few that I find really helpful. Breath work, I mean, I like meditation a lot. It's really helped me. But breath work is also something that I found to be super helpful for me. So again, like, that could be helpful for some of you in this group, and we can, again, we all we want to do is help. So if you guys need that help, we just want you to know that the offer is there. Again, this is a group that we talked a lot about. You guys might have some trouble accepting help, so maybe you're like, oh, I don't want to bother them, but we put the offer out there, so feel free to email us if you need the help.
Mm-hmm. We're going to move on to your letters now that we are on our meditation soapbox. It's fine.
Yes.
So we'll go into this, and then we'll do your BTS stickers after that, and then your cards. And if you want shorter readings and you're enjoying it, and like you're like, oh, I really like this, and like I would like to see these like shorter, but I also like what they do. Like we put out weekly readings too, so if you're interested in that, we do like letters and stickers and stuff for those too. If you want to watch those.
Yes. And we have no problem if you guys want to put these on like while you're studying, because like it's a lot of work. It's not a lot of work to, but it's a long time to sit and listen to us. But this is the one thing that we really like about like our job, is that we can give wisdom to people and allow them to also be like, maybe they're drawing or they're painting, or what I mean? Like it's kind of like a podcast in that sense, where you don't have to be 100% focused on us and what we're doing to get the messages that you need from spirit.
Mm-hmm. So with your letters, I got cat. So again, cats could be very important to this group. Cats also came out in the last group too. So if you were drawn to the last group, you could watch that one. I know they're a little long, but if you're, studying or doing something, you can put it on the background, as Lena said. You also got my. So like for me, like I feel like with this group, another thing that I'm really getting is that you might have a hard time accepting help, in the sense of like you have a hard time thinking of yourself. Like you focus a lot on other people. And I think like, and you also have I'm. So I feel like with this group, like it's very much about like knowing that like you are important too. And like you can accept help from other people. Like it's not putting anybody out. Like you are important to other people. Like you don't have to just always be solitary by yourself. Like you can accept that help because people want to help you because you're important to them.
Mm-hmm.
I also see gut. Um, if you guys have issues with like your gut health, like first of all, we're not doctors, we're not therapists, so please don't use us in place of that. But if you have any issues with your gut, I would get that checked out. But I know like with anxiety, a lot of times that affects like your gut health. So if you have been having issues with that because of how anxious you are, like maybe look into like some things that you can do to kind of help with that. I know that of course doing things like meditation helps with that, right? Because it brings our anxiety down. But if let's say like you might be, lactose intolerant, and like something that you do is you eat ice cream when you're stressed out. Well, try to find ice cream that doesn't have milk in it.
Mm-hmm.
Or, sometimes you might get anxious and like that just kind of messes with things down there. Like make sure that, you're taking care of yourself. And like, I just feel like gut health is really important for this group. Try probiotics. Like they're proven to help a lot with that. Try to make sure that you're not eating anything that's going to exasperate you if you are feeling really anxious. Like doing things like that can really help you, and that's going to help you feel better too.
Yeah. And I have to agree with that, because I am someone that is really anxious all the time. And I also have gut issues as well. And so, I did start taking probiotics, and they do actually help. And I'm not someone who can eat a ton of dairy. So, like, I feel your struggle on that. If you're like me, I'm a vegetarian, but I still, and I'm trying to be vegan, but I still do love my cheese. And so, but I know the struggle bus basically of not being able to, basically just not being able to have that thing. And so, again, if you need some help with your gut, definitely. Also, kombucha is really good for your gut health. Again, we're not doctors, but I know that that's something that I drink too as well that helps. And if you're having like acid reflux issues, things that can help like that, or the probiotics, but also like ginger tea or ginger ale can really help settle that. And saltines, just again, keep it light. Try not to be too hard on yourself about what you're about what you're consuming, and just be nice to yourself, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that is what I had for the letters. If you guys see anything else in there that you notice that is sticking out to you, please leave it in the comments. We always like to see comments down there. We like to see what other people are seeing and what we may have missed. So leave that down there. We're going to get into your BTS stickers.
Yay!
Yay. 1 second. hold on. Dropped one. Okay. So let's get started. So the first thing I see is this one. It has Tata.
Oh, I love that Tata's acting like Baymax. That's my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. So with this, I'm actually getting kind of like a hug. Is kind of what I'm getting. Like you can accept like love from other people. Like I feel like you might need, really sometimes like you really just need like a hug. Now, of course, be responsible about it right now with everything that's going on in the world. But like if you do need a hug from somebody, like there's nothing wrong with needing physical touch or like affection. Like you can ask for that, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
1 second here. Okay, you have the BTS BT21s running.
Yes. Running towards your goals. And again, I feel like for you guys, it's less that you already are running towards your goals. So you guys almost need to slow down and be here.
Yeah. I feel like paying more attention to the now is really important to you. So like don't let yourself get like distracted by like the future or the past, and like be here right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Cookie in a bunny suit. So like being playful is very important for this group, and like that inner child is very important for this group. And I say that because you do have a couple of inner child stickers, like even though obviously I think this is
That's Jimin.
yes, Chim. So this is Jimin, and like he has like his little ponytail, like a little heart in there, and like very playful energy.
Yeah. Super playful.
This is a Cookie dressed up as a bunny again, but he's eating. So like again, food might be really important for you, like so pay attention to what you're eating, but like also don't restrict yourself so much that like you're not eating what you need to be eating, because again, that can exasperate other things too. Like I know for a fact, like if you're not eating enough and like you're like having issues with eating food, like that can cause things like acid reflux to be worse. So just make sure like you are taking care of yourself.
Yeah, agree. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourself. Make sure you're eating enough. Make sure you're drinking enough water. That's definitely very important for a lot of people that's in this group, especially with like the knot in your throat. Sometimes that can be because of not drinking enough water that your throat chakra feels like that.
It's very true. Make sure you are getting enough exercise, doing things that get you out and about. I know for me, like I've recently been walking a lot more outside, and like I can only do that for so long because I live somewhere where snow is bound to happen eventually. But we're having kind of an unseasonably warm time of the year right now when it's winter where I'm at. So like I think that getting out, doing things that keep you active, like that can really shake up your energy, whether that's dancing, going to the gym, doing yoga, taking walks, whatever that may be. Like I feel like keep taking care of yourself, doing those things if you already are, but like if you haven't started doing that, like that could be something that really helps you shake up your energy. This came out in group 2. So this is about like yeah, it's like being in the dark, like in the shadows. So like if you are having some issues here and there, like it's okay sometimes if you're very like back and forth, because you also got Ming, like sad Ming. But it's okay. Like sometimes if you go back and forth between like, having days that are really high and then some days that are really low, like that's just part of life. Like you need to just like ride the wave and let it happen. Because sometimes in life, like you have days that are really good and sometimes you have days that are not so great. And like that's just kind of part of life. Don't beat yourself up for it. Like just know that it's part of being human.
Yeah. I think you guys have an issue where you guys need to flow. And I think that's kind of, I don't even want to call it an issue because I think we all have trouble like flowing sometimes. So I don't want to make you guys feel like you're doing something wrong because I think you guys struggle with that enough. But what I want to say is I think we all struggle with flow sometimes, and not knowing when to just kind of breathe. And like, again, I'm getting that, like, I keep seeing Moonology cards in all these groups, but definitely for this one, I feel like it's that take time to breathe out for you guys. And I think that's really going to help you. And that's just going to be really beneficial for you guys. And, being in your shadow, I think you guys are pretty comfortable there. But, I think more it's that you guys are afraid to come out and step into the light and say, like, I think you guys have made lots of friends with your shadows, whereas like some of the other groups needed to make friends with their shadows. And I feel like you guys are the Uno reverse. You made lots of friends with your shadows, but you're almost more afraid of the good things, which, we got a lot of, like, you guys don't know. You're very good at giving, but you're not very good at receiving. And so that can be why you need to breathe and be like, okay, these good things are coming. I do deserve them. I am worthy of them. Like, I think you guys know yourself enough. You've worked on your, things, like, because we all have flaws and things we need to work on. You've worked on those things. You're currently still working on them. Like, you've gotten a handle on a lot of those things. You put the seeds, you did all the things, and now it's just about breathe. Except, you can step out of that shadow and into the light now.
Mm-hmm. You got Cookie with his big, like, puffy coat. He's just kind of hanging out. I almost feel apathetic with this sticker. Like, you might just kind of be like, ugh. I'm just kind of getting that, like, I'm kind of over this vibe. I'm like, meh. But, it's okay, because sometimes you get there in life and you're just like, ugh.
You're just like, I don't really want to deal with this right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay to, like, take time out, like, when you feel that way, to take time to yourself and, like, do something to kind of help lift your spirits too. Like, if you're feeling that way and you're like, I don't really know what I want to do, I'm just kind of meh, like, find something that normally lights you up. Like, if you like to watch movies, like, even though you might not feel like it in that moment in time, if you put on a funny movie, like, you might find yourself as you watch that movie feeling better. So, don't be afraid to take that time for yourself and to do things to try to help. But if you do stay in that place, like, that's okay too. Like, it's a feeling. Like, you can't control your feelings. So if you are feeling that way, like, it's okay to be there and leave space for it and say, like, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now, and I'm going to try to continue to live my life and, like, not beat myself up for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys need to be able to live your life. And I think this group, you guys need to be okay with having fun. That's something that I'm getting, is like, I think you guys struggle that you think that, like, if you're having, maybe like you guys are a little serious and you guys think like, well, if I'm not working constantly 24/7, or I'm not working towards something, I like these fun things, but I haven't earned them, or you know what I mean? Something along those lines. And so I think that that's something that you guys are working through right now too, is like learning that it is okay to have fun. It is okay to, if you've done your work for the day, right? Say that you went to your job, or, you're working from home, that type of thing, and you did what you needed to do. You don't have to keep working throughout the whole night. Like, you can, it's actually encouraged, because you'll cherish your work so much more when you do give yourself that time, and that, like, oh, I think, oh, I'm gonna take a break. Like, I think that's something that you guys really, really need to do.
Mm-hmm. You have the RJ with the question mark. So yeah, you might be kind of worried right now. Like, you might be kind of like, is this going to happen? Like, what's going on? Am I doing something wrong? Like, you might have a lot of questions right now and you're feeling kind of anxious about it. And like, I know, like, with this group, like, Spirit's really trying to tell you, like, it's going to be okay. Like, things are coming. It's going to be all right. You're just in a waiting period. You also got no, no, no with Koya.
Oh, Koya. Yeah, so I think you guys can get panicked, like Becca was kind of talking about earlier. I think there's a sense of panic, and so you guys just, you gotta breathe. Really, I feel like that's all I've been saying to you this whole reading, but it's really the only thing that Spirit keeps reiterating to me, is like, just tell them to breathe. Everything's gonna be all right.
And then to top it off with your stickers, you got Akoya celebrating, and then you also got Cookie and Shooky.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, so you guys are gonna have like a fiesta. There's gonna be celebration in the end. Things are coming to you. Everything's going to work out. And I'm just like, yes, beautiful. Love it.
Love that for you. And that's super exciting. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to shuffle your cards, like your BTS MONSTA X chakra cards. And we're going to get 4 of them. And we're going to see what your guides want to say with this card. So with these cards, I should say. Second. And I'm not surprised. Yeah, I will show you in a second, but I think there's a theme here as to which chakra you might be working on right now. And I don't think it's the throat chakra. But give me 1 second because I want to pull them all out one after the other. Okay, you guys got extra cards.
Ooh.
An extra card, I should say. Okay, so you're going to laugh. Well, I mean, you might not, but we will. So I'm going to start with the one that's not the one that are all of them. You got New. So this is Shonu. You got his Gom. But this is crown chakra. It says there's no such thing as a bad person.
Oh, I love that quote. I mean, I it's one of those things where I'm like, ooh, that wisdom is deep, but also,
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like with that's more about you beating up on yourself. Like when things go wrong or like they don't go your way. Like I feel like this group kind of has a tendency to beat up on themselves. And like there is no such thing as a bad person. And like if you have been having issues with people in the past or like you're working through some stuff and that's why you're not able to receive, like because you've had things happen in the past where someone's hurt you, like just know that like there's no such thing as a bad person. And it's okay, you know, to forgive people. It's okay to feel your feelings and to go through all of that. And like, you know, you don't have to feel guilty for being mad at somebody. Like that's another thing too, is I'm kind of getting is like, there's a couple messages that are kind of coming in at the same time right now, but it's very much about like, you're not a bad person if you are feeling certain things, or if you were upset by someone and you need to set that boundary, like, or, you know, if somebody hurt you, like they're not necessarily a bad person, but it's okay, you know, if you're upset with them, and it's okay, you know, to be upset, and it's okay to be like, okay, well, I need to learn, I need to forgive, but like right now I'm not really ready to do that. And there's a song by Paramore called Forgiveness, and that's a song that I think goes really strongly with that. But I think like it's very much about like, you're not a bad person if you are feeling upset with someone else or if you need to assert your boundaries.
Big time.
Okay, now are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, so you got Jungkook, third eye chakra. This dream is a blue mirage in a desert, a priori deep inside of me. I'm so happy I can't breathe. My surroundings are getting more and more transparent, which is Euphoria by BTS. So for me, like, you know, we got that card in group 1, I think. And it's very much about like, you know, you're starting to see things coming in for you. So I think that's super exciting because I think you guys might actually be starting to see things, like you're getting glimpses of what's happening and what's going to happen. And I think that might be why you're getting anxious, because you're anticipating it now and you're like, oh, I'm so excited. And then like, you're like, oh, but it's not here yet. So what am I doing wrong? Like you kind of get into that like mindset. So I feel like this is saying like, you know, you're starting to see it, you're so excited, you're happy, like let yourself be happy about it, but don't overthink it. Like
exactly.
Don't get on that cycle. The next one is third eye chakra, and this is Chin Kyun from MONSTA X. It says, even if it's not something you're aware of, you can already feel the halo. You'll meet soon with this inevitable existence. No need to hide with a veil. No. And that's from Follow.
Yeah, you guys don't need to hide anymore. And I think you guys have a very prominent third eye chakra, and you know deep down that this stuff is coming, but you know, I think past experience has made you afraid, and it is okay to feel that way, you know, and ride the highs and lows of how you feel. Like I'm getting emotional as I'm saying this, so I feel like this is very like it's like hitting the nail on the head for this group, that you guys, you know, things you always know. And I think the thing is that like you guys are just afraid, and it's okay to feel that way. And like I said, I feel so much emotion right now. So I think that that's something that really gets to you guys. And And I'm not laughing in a way of like making fun of you, because I do understand. I'm I'm laughing more because I'm like, wow, like this is some very powerful emotion, and I'm a little bit shook by it. But you know, your emotion is beautiful, and it just means that you really deeply care. So instead of being like, oh, I'm so emotional about this, like, why am I such a baby? Like, be like, you know, I'm really passionate, actually. Like, I'm really passionate about this thing that I want, that I'm waiting for. And like, it's okay to feel that way. And I'm going to feel highs and lows of thinking, and some days thinking that it's going to come in and I'm super excited. And some days I'm going to feel down and not feel that way. And, you know, it's okay to ride both of those waves.
You got third eye chakra. Behind the faint smile that looked at me, I will draw a beautiful purple shade. We may not be on the same page, but I want to walk this path with you. That's from Still With You, which is actually by Jungkook. It's one of his songs. And with that, like, that's telling me, like, this is all about, like, you have people around you that want to be there for you and, like, want to walk this path with you. Like, you feel very connected. And, like, that could be a nod if you are manifesting somebody, that you are connected to that person. But it also is just in the sense of, like, you're connected to the universe, and the universe wants to help guide you. And then the last one is third eye chakra. We are connected, we are one, and you are not alone. And that is a direct quote from Kihyun, or I Am, from MONSTA X. So again, like, you are not alone. You have support. You have loved ones that are there for you. But like, the universe has your back is very much the vibe I'm getting from those last two cards. Like, you already know what's coming. You can see it. You can feel it. You can sense it. And like, you know that it's right around the corner. And like, you're, you know, you're feeling really anxious because you're waiting for it to get here. But, you know, you might be feeling kind of alone in that. Like, you might be like, I'm sitting here and I'm waiting so long for this thing. And like, I just feel like, you know, I'm by myself, and like, things are not coming. And like, spirit, are you listening to me? Like, can you hear me? Like, I feel like that's very much the vibe. And like, they're saying like, yes, we hear you right here. Like, we're literally right here, and we're helping you, and like, we're pushing you along your path, and like, we're holding your hand. So like, it's gonna be okay. Like, breathe, very much.
Yeah, like, you guys are gonna be okay. I'm getting that every little thing is gonna be all right type of vibe. And I also heard Feel Special by Twice earlier, but like, you know, Becca was talking, so I didn't want to interrupt. But I think that, and that is a song about, you know, like, the girls of Twice wrote that, you know, or JYP wrote it, but he wrote it about a conversation that he had with the girls, where they were talking about how, like, being, you know, going through this is really hard, and that they're so lucky that they have each other, because having each other makes them feel loved and cared for, even when the world feels against them. And I feel like you guys do have people in your life who want to be there for you, and they want to be there to make you feel special and to make you feel loved and cared for, even when you feel like the world is against you. And so I think it's just, again, about accepting that help and leaning on those people and saying, hey, I'm really struggling right now. I want to believe that things are going to work out, but I'm having a hard time. Or, you know, do both. Be there, you know, share your joy and your sorrow with them. But today, I feel amazing. Like, today, everything is beautiful. And like, let those people celebrate with you. Let them hype you up even more, because you know what? That's going to make you feel even better. Like, do both. But I feel like that's very important. And so both of those songs could be, you know, very important for you. One is Bob Marley, I'm pretty sure, and the other one is Twice. So, you know, just all around, here we are.
We're all over the place with your music recommendations, but if you want more, we have a playlist listed below as well. But if you enjoyed the reading, that is what we had for you. So please leave us a like, a comment, hit subscribe, check it out. Like, this is our throat chakra. Next week is the third eye, and you already know who that is if you're in this group. So, ta-da. But we'll get into that next week. But in the meantime, you know, we have a playlist listed down below. We do weekly readings. We do weekly pick-a-cards for the astrological signs. So if you want to check those out, you can. Let us know if you need anything, if you want support, if you want resources. Our stuff is in the description below as well. So just reach out to us if you want to. Otherwise, we hope that you guys have a good time, a good week, whatever it may be for you. And we will talk to you later, hopefully.
See you guys later. Bye-bye.
If you chose pile 4, you chose this little beach ham gum with a little heart glasses. So this is for your what is your throat chakra telling you? And I've had to do this in every pile because I forgot to do it in the intro. It's fine. But we chose Yoongi, also known as Suga, also known as August D, and then we also from BTS, and we also I feel like this group has a hard time speaking their truth because I'm having a really hard time talking right now. But we also chose Kihyun from MONSTA X, and the reason why we chose them is because they're very outspoken, honest, vocal people, and like they're very, very good at expressing their truth. So like with Yoongi, like he puts a lot of his feelings and emotions and like his wisdom and stuff into his rap. And he's very vocal with that. And then Kiyun is the lead singer of MONSTA X, and like he puts a lot of his energy and his passion and stuff behind his voice, but he also is very honest about who he is and like what he believes in as well. And so like both of them we think really, really embody the energy of the throat chakra, which is why we chose them. But what we're gonna do, we have tarot cards, we have oracle cards, we have stickers, we have this little chest over here, which is actually what is your truth, or like what what do you need to speak your truth about. So that's in here, but we'll do that after those. And then we also have our special chakra deck that we made that's BTS MONSTA X themed, and it has like quotes and lyrics from the boys, and it also has like a corresponding chakra as well. So we will go ahead, we'll get started with your tarot. So what is your throat chakra trying to tell you? So the first card is the Lovers. You got the High Priestess. You got the Hierophant.
Wow, that's powerful.
Mm-hmm. And you got the Three of Wands.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Wow is all I can say about that. This group, you have 3 major arcana cards. 3.
Yes.
Which that means like right now you're in like a big part of your life. Like there's these, like when you have like I'm just having such a hard time talking with this group, but when you have like 3 major arcana, like that's major arcana cards can dictate like an important part of your path, like something that's destined to happen to you, whereas like minor arcana, like those change like as you go out like throughout your life, whatever situation you're in, whereas like major arcana are like cards that are along your destined path. Like these are big deal, like these are like, this is something that's meant to happen here, to be here right now. Like this is a soul lesson, like this is really important. So having 3 of them, that's super powerful energy. And like with this energy, these are great major arcana cards. Like these are beautiful because you have the Lovers, which is all about like working in harmony, and like yes, that can signify like your person, like divine union, like that can be very much that. It could also be like working in like partnership, but I usually see this card as divine union. And like even on this card, it's like Adam and Eve and like blessed, divinely guided like union.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's important. And then you have the High Priestess, who is very good at listening to her intuition, which is why she has the moon down there. And like she's very knowledgeable and wise. She's got the why can't I think of what they're called? Fruit.
The fruit.
Mm-hmm, the fruit that's on her.
Oh, it's a little blurry. Oranges.
No, they're
Pomegranates.
Thank you. It's a symbol of it's pomegranate, which is a symbol of like fertility, abundance. It also goes back to like Greek mythology as well. But you also have the balance between the black and the white. Like she's sitting balanced in the middle. And like you have like this energy up here as well in her crown, which like this is somebody who's very much in their power and like knows their worth and is great at following their intuition, like being very balanced. And then you have the Hierophant, which I also see as being a very balanced card. She's in between 2 pillars as well. But the Hierophant has like the 2 keys down here at the bottom. And then she's got like people that are listening to her, because the Hierophant is about like knowledge and about like sharing and learning. And like she's got like her scepter over here. She's got like a flower crown. She's in her power, like sitting on her throne, like teaching information. Like this is very super powerful energy. And then apparently, you've got the Three of Wands, which is all about waiting for your ships to come in. So what I'm feeling with this is like you're sitting in your power, like you're coming into your power right now. And maybe this is something you've been working on for a long time, and you've kind of been in like this waiting period, and you're kind of like, when is my stuff going to get here?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one of those things where you're like, please, I just want my stuff to get here. And I think like right now you're actually doing a pretty good job of listening to spirit and listening to your intuition and like waiting for these things to like fully manifest for you. But I feel like they've already started, because I feel like this energy with these two cards in the middle is very much like you're learning or have learned how to balance and how to like listen for spirit and listen to your intuition, listen to your inner world. And like you're starting to share that knowledge as well. And like you're kind of coming into this place of like being able to share this with others and like help others know how to work through things because you've already been through them. So I feel like with, especially with like her tattered like dress and stuff, like she's been through the ringer, and that's how she learned this knowledge. And like now she's at that point where she's like, okay, whatever I have to do in order for this stuff to get here, like if I'm in a waiting period, then what do I do during this waiting period? Like I want my person, or I want, my abundance that I'm trying to manifest, but like I understand like right now I need to wait, and in order to do that, like I have to fill my time doing other things. Like I feel like that's kind of the vibe that's happening right here, at least in my opinion.
Yes. As far as, and I agree with that. First thing I wanted to say is I'm so sorry if you could hear a dog barking. That is my dog. She is exercising her own throat chakra. She's just, we have other dogs visiting, and she just gets a little bit like, stay out of my space. So I'm sorry. So what I wanted to say is that right off the, like what Becca said, everything in this is very powerful, and you guys have a lot of stuff like that is going to be coming in, and you're waiting for it, and you're learning about how to be patient and stuff like that. And we talked a little bit in the last group about how being patient basically sucks. It just does. But what I wanted to point out is that the High Priestess and the Hierophant are actually counterparts. So with the Lover, I think that you and your person are actually both waiting for each other, and you're manifesting each other. And your throat chakra is letting you know that by you being yourself and expressing your truth and building up your power, you might be manifesting that person to you. And like, because again, it's a Three of Wands, this person could be from overseas or just a different country, different culture, like different backgrounds than what you might be used to. But I feel like there's a journey to you. And this also could be, again, about the journey back to yourself. So you could have been on this long journey to find yourself and stand in your power. And now you're about to teach everything, or you're starting to teach everything that you've learned. And because of that, you planted seeds. And now, again, waiting, because of that, now the things that you want are going to rush in. And that's what I was also getting in addition to those cards.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go ahead and get into your oracles. So first one is Mintaken, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. We have Sodalite, speak your truth.
Well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. What you're working on, we have Pride, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. For your little pop of support, you got you were born with that it quality. And it says, do you want to know what's really beautiful? Confidence. Do you want to know what's really powerful? Persistence. Do you want to know what's really sexy? Please, I know about sexy. Not needing to be needed. And if still they don't notice your good looks, your strength, and your sachet, could you feel more sorry for them? Tally ho, the universe. For your affirmation, you got, I am gentle with myself in transitions. For your inspiration card, you have aspire to inspire. And then the last card that we have, I have to read these out of the book because Spirit is asking me to, and it's actually a journaling prompt card. But the card that we got is deliver your greatest gift to the world. It's number 10. And then you also got 33, which could be a master number. If you want to reduce it, it's 6. So 6 could be important. 10 is a number of completion. So that could be important as well. So keep those in mind. But let me get this so that we can read this for you. So deliver your greatest gift to the world. Go ahead. The world is ready for you. The real you, the true and authentic you that you've been hiding somewhere because someone once told you it's not okay to be fully seen. There's no reward for being falsely humble. Your brilliance and luminosity don't diminish the light of anyone else. It only gives others permission to come forward fully too. Life simply wants more life. Your role is to become the fullest expression of the life you've been blessed with in your playful purpose here now. The cosmic catalyst, which is a prompt, is when and why did I first diminish my light? Who played a role, knowingly or unknowingly, in diminishing it? And then your cosmic checkbox is look at each of the names you wrote out during your cosmic catalyst and send love and forgiveness towards that person. So for me, with this, what I'm really getting, like, is that you have been through a lot, and like you may have felt the need to hide a lot of that away because, like, other people have, kind of helped, like, tried to dim your light. And like I think like now you're really aware of that, and like you're coming to this place of like understanding that you have gifts to give to the world, and like you're ready to speak your truth and put it out there and have pride in what you have and what you offer and what you bring to the table, because you have that it quality. And I think sometimes you might feel like you don't belong because you did get this Min Talkin card. Like you might feel like, like, I don't know that I really belong here. Like people never really seem to understand me. Like I just feel really different and really alone. And like spirit is basically telling you like the reason why you might feel that way is because you're special or you're different. And like everybody's special in their own way. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean that in any way like nobody, like someone's not. But you're different in the sense of like the reason why you feel so different is because you have something to share that's unique and that people are going to need to hear and are going to want to hear. And like you may have been, throughout your life, you may have gone through a lot of things where that's been, diminished or put down, or like you've been, told like, oh, well, you shouldn't be like that because it's not normal, quote unquote. But the thing is like normal is boring for one. And for two, nobody's actually normal. Normal doesn't exist. And so the
Mm-mm.
thing is that's something that's been told to you because we've always known that like, oh, well, if you stay inside the box, it's safe there. And like I think you've come to this point of understanding that like it's okay to not be inside the box anymore. It's okay to come out of the box. And like in doing so, you're going to inspire so many people, and like in sharing your gifts, like you're going to help people. You're going to move forward, and like you're going to find that like you're so much happier. And like I feel like with this group, you might have a tendency to beat up on yourself sometimes, especially with like the pride card and the I'm gentle with myself card. And I think you need to be more gentle with yourself. Like if you're going through a hard time, like it's okay if you're like, you know what, I'm being kind of mean to myself right now. And like I don't really know how to not. Like that's, I mean, it's part of being human, honestly. So like one thing with that is like humans have a tendency to beat up on themselves, and learning how to love yourself is the hardest thing that you can do in this life, because as we're raised, like a lot of people are raised that it's all about everyone else and it's not about yourself. But it couldn't be farther from the truth, because you can't love other people until you love yourself. Not truly, not fully, because you have to be able to know what it's like to give yourself that love and give yourself that space so that you can give that to other people and so that you can let them inside. And that's where that true unconditional love lies. So for me, like it's really about, you are coming into this space of understanding that, and that's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And also just a couple things that I wanted to add, because I feel like Becca covered everything really well. Is I was getting the sense from this group there was a lot of like tension in my shoulders and in my neck, like as she was talking. So I feel like you're stressed and you're holding a lot of that tension like in your upper body. So Spirit was suggesting like, when you wake up in the morning, doing a few like light stretches, like roll out your neck, raise your arms if you can, just like kind of stretch out that area, let the tension go. And like maybe in the morning, like, just do a quick little like 2-minute thing that says I breathe in peace and I release tension, I exhale tension, just to kind of like move that, that like tension in your body. Because You know, again, if you beat up on yourself, we hold that tension and that negativity inside of our body. And I know we don't feel like we do, but we do. And so I feel like that's something that you guys can do to kind of help with that. And there was something else, but I kind of forgot now. So if it comes back to me, I will let you guys know.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go ahead and get into your charms to kind of see what they say. And so this is going to be, you know, what is your truth? What truth do you need to speak? So let's go ahead and look in here and see what's in here. We actually haven't seen these yet because I did this with my eyes closed. So we have we have two letters. You have an L and you have a Y. Let's see if I can get
Love
them.
Yourself.
Yeah. Love it yourself.
Great albums by BTS and great song also.
Yes. You got love.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. You got the little bicycle with the hearts and the wheels. So like for me, again, that's all about like love traveling. So this could just be like, you know, like things are moving forward and like, or, you know, love is coming to you, like it's on its way. And like another thing that could be is just like, you know, maybe you do love to travel. Maybe like, you know, you really enjoy that side of life and like you're coming into this place now where like you're going to start being able to travel and do things that you really love because you're letting yourself enjoy the things that you actually want to do. But like I also am getting really strongly like this is love is on its way. You got, let's see. You got a little bow tie with a diamond in the middle.
Yeah, I think you guys are also like your throat chakra is letting you know that like all the changes and transformation you've been doing, like it is igniting in a glow up. And maybe it's not the outer glow up that you want, because I feel like for some of you, you're like, I didn't really glow up. Like I heard that you're like, I look the same as I did before. Like I didn't make any progress. And it's like, but how much progress did you make inside? That's something, you know, that you should be proud of, because that still is a glow up. And now it's like, okay, well, you made the inside progress. So now what usually happens when you do that, if you do the inner work first, what happens is that the outer results stay longer. So if it's like, you know, you wanted to, you know, just for some, you know, lose weight or tone your body or, you know, things like that, like, and you're worried about like your outward appearance. And this reminded me of what I was going to say earlier. So thank you, Spirit. You know, you guys have the capability to do it, and you guys have had that glow up, and I think you're going to continue to have that glow up. What I wanted to say earlier was Becca mentioned something about like how no one is normal, and Spirit wanted me to say societal contracts. Oh my gosh, I can't talk again. You guys have trouble speaking your truth. Societal constructs exist, but nobody can meet them. Nobody meets them. They're not real. They're fake things that we put up for ourselves. And if you do meet them, I guarantee you it's not because you're happy about it. So that's something that you should remember. Societal constructs exist, but nobody actually meets them. Everybody fails to meet them because everybody just needs to focus on being themselves and not what anyone else tells them to be.
Yes, definitely. You got world. So again, for me, like maybe traveling the world is important to you, but also the world card is like everything that you could possibly like want and need is like it's like having it all is kind of what I get whenever I see the world come out. And like for me, like I feel like, you know, you're gonna have everything you need. Like even though like it might look a little bit different than like, you know, the picket fence, like cookie cutter, like dream that everybody has, like it's gonna be perfect for you and it's on its way and you're manifesting it, like it's coming. And like you've done all of this work and like it may feel like you haven't. Like some days you may be like, I haven't really done anything. Like I feel really down about it. Like I don't even know where I'm going. Like your soul knows what they're doing, first of all. Second of all, you have done a ton of work. If you're looking at this pile right now, you've done a ton of work. Like it may not feel like it sometimes, but you have. And like spirit is so expressive about like being kind to yourself and knowing that you have that it quality and like you are, you know, you have that pride, like have that knowledge of knowing that like you are good enough as you are because, you know, everybody is, but you've done so much work that you deserve all of this stuff. And it's okay to accept that. And it's okay to be like, you know what? I'm happy because I'm going to get everything that I deserve because it's on its way to me because I've done all this work.
Exactly. Pump yourself up, man.
You got wow. So something shocking could be coming. Like you may have a hard
that
time.
has like a blue and pink to it, so that's throat and heart chakra. I think you guys have some strength in those chakras. Your upper chakras seem to be very strong for you guys.
Yes, and I feel like with this, like something's coming, and like I feel because I actually struggle with this sometimes, where like they'll tell me like you're gonna have this thing happen, and I'll be like, "Are you sure about that? Like, are you 100% sure about that?" So you might have some issues like believing sometimes, and I think like it's gonna shock you, like you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, did that actually happen?" I'm also getting this message from Spirit that's like, if you look back at like what's happened to you in the last, who knows, like 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, however long you've been on your journey, if you look back at where you were that when you started your journey to now, you're going to be like, wow, like you can really look and see like the difference, like how much development has happened, how many things have happened, like what have you gone through in that time and how have you grown is kind of what I'm getting.
And that can be something like, Becca was talking about journaling with that card, and that card was talking about like things that you need to share. So maybe that is, how did you cope? How did you healthily cope? How did you change? How did you develop? Go over that. Be like, sometimes I think you can try to look at, I think sometimes a good way to see your growth is to kind of look at the way you respond to like conflict and things like that. And the way that you respond to people than you used to. Are you someone that used to let people walk all over you, and now you're like, hey, no, I need to do this thing and I have a boundary set and you need to respect it? Or can you see now that like before someone would have criticized you and you would have taken it to heart, and like and I'm not saying this in a mocking way at all because I'm very, very sensitive myself. So any example that I'm generally using is about my, it's not to talk about myself, but to like, I'm more or less poking fun at myself, like, or not even poking fun. I'm using myself as an example because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm attacking them either. So like, just know, like, I'm never saying that these things out of any malice, but like, I know for, me that like, if I look at myself a year ago to now, and I am still very sensitive, I won't lie about that because I'm still me, but I know that like there was a time when any criticism that I got was really hard for me and it was really hurtful. And and I mean, a lot of the time it was criticism from people that wasn't exactly constructive or positive, but even when it was constructive or positive, I would have a hard time taking it just because of the fact that most of the criticism I've gotten my whole life was not constructive or positive. So then anything, it was like, oh God, I made this person upset, and like, and it's like, but I don't have to please everyone either. And so you can look, or just maybe look at a situation where like that thing that person used to do used to annoy you so much, and now you don't even notice it anymore, and it's because you found inner peace, you've grown. So sometimes that is a good way to look at how you handle conflicts, look at how you handle interactions with people. Has it been something before where you couldn't order your own food at a restaurant because you had a lot of social anxiety, but now you go there and you can order your food with a little bit more confidence? Like, that's all growth and progress, and you should be very proud of yourself for that. Well, I know we don't really go out to restaurants right now, but I think you know what I'm saying. If you're watching this in real time, we're still in the pandemic, so please don't go out to restaurants. Please be safe.
The last charm that you guys have is the star. So hope, very much with this group. Like, you guys have been working so hard and you've done so much, and like, just know that there is hope. You have hope. Like, your dreams are coming and you're going to be amazed. Like, it may not feel like it all the time. Like, you may have a lot of times where you're like, well, I believe you, but I don't believe you, but I'm going to keep going anyway. Like, you're just pushing through. Like, Spirit's saying, like, it's coming. And we know that it's hard. Like, it is really difficult to wait. It is really difficult to not know things. Like, it is really hard to have faith sometimes, but you're being recognized for the fact that even though you've gone through that and it is still hard sometimes, you're still going. So now we've gone through that, we're going to go ahead into your letters, and then we're going to do BTS stickers, and then we've got your BTS MONSTA X chakra cards as well. So we're going to start with your letters. Let me find them. Okay. So, and we do readings every week. So like if you are interested and you like kind of our style and what we do, like, you know, join us for some of the pick a cards that we do for the signs, because we do astrological pick a cards too.
And they're not as long because we know we get a little bit long-winded in these.
Yes.
So sorry about that.
I knew it was going to come out. Okay. So, dream. So dream for me, like this group, focus on your dreams. Like when you're feeling really down, when you're feeling really stressed out and you're just like, I don't want to wait. Like spending time with your dreams and spending time, like, you know, thinking about the things that you love and like letting yourself have dreams, like letting yourself go after those dreams is really important. And like another thing is you might get communication in your dreams. Like you might be somebody that, like, you know, maybe you do astral travel, like, or maybe spirit gives you messages while you sleep. Like, you know, if you have dreams, wake up and talk to somebody about like a dream interpretation. We offer dream interpretation if you're interested in that. But you know, your dreams could be really important to you, and like you might get messages through your dreams. You might help people through your dreams. Like it's amazing, like when you tap into like the astral plane and like what goes on like when you're sleeping is really, it's really cool. So I feel like dreams are really important for this group. And I also see the word time. So we have a whole spiel that we could give on time, but for me, like time is non-existent. It's a made-up construct. It doesn't exist. And like a lot of people get so focused on time and like, oh, it's going to be so long, or like it's taken so long and there's so much time, or like I only have so much time and I don't have enough time. Like people get so hung up on time that they forget to live in the here and now. And that's really important, to live in the here and now. Like it's very important to know that like you have all the time in the world. You're exactly where you need to be at any moment in quote unquote time, because you know your life is exactly where it's supposed to be at all times. Like spirit has it, has your back. Like if you are, you know, at a certain place in your life, like you're meant to be there. There's a reason. Everything has a reason. And like time doesn't, you can't let time control you, basically, because it doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, sometimes we want things to be faster. Sometimes we get a little stressed out, or like we feel like we don't have enough time. But the thing is like you'll get whatever needs to be done in the time that you're given. And like, let's say for instance, you have projects you want to get done in one day, and you have, you know, a certain amount of time to get them done, and you're like freaking out about it. Well, let's say you get two of like three projects done and you're like, I don't have enough time to do the last project. That's okay. Like maybe for some reason you weren't supposed to get that project done right at that moment in time. Like maybe there's a reason there's a delay, or maybe there's a reason why those two got done first and that one didn't. Like the message is like, do the things that you can with the time that you already have, and like enjoy it. Like don't rush through things just because you're like, I don't have enough time, or you know, I really just want to get somewhere, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, just spend the time that you have now doing things that you care about, doing things that you love. You know, if you have a craft that you work on, like whether that be like drawing, singing, writing, dancing, what, the whole spiel, like any craft that you have, like spend time doing things like that. Spend, you know, time making time for yourself. And like if you have projects and stuff that you need to get done, okay, if you didn't get it done, like what really, like what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to have to do it the next day. Like you're going to have to ask for an extension. Like does, you know what I mean? Like obviously I don't want you to like put stuff off, like if you have to get it done, like let's say you're in school and you're like finals or something, but like don't put so much stress on it.
Well, there's a difference between, sorry, procrastination and, you know, putting too much pressure on yourself.
Yes. And like, don't procrastinate, because like, obviously, you know, they don't do things just because you're like, I'm avoiding this thing. Like that's not, no, that's avoidance. That's not the same thing. I'm saying like, don't put so much pressure on yourself that like you let time control it so much that you're not living in the now.
Mm-hmm. If you're always working towards the future, you miss what's happening around you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's not a way to live. And I think that what Becca just like said was very important. The other thing that was sticking out for me, which we don't have the end, but I noticed that we have almost all the letters for ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys might be really connected to the sea, to the beach, because I also see it on the Montauk card as
Mm-hmm.
well. You know, I see it there. So like you guys could be connected to water. So maybe like, you know, you get messages like when you're in the shower, so you can listen for that as well. You know, dream is also very Pisces. So like that's also a water sign. So you could get something, and then you have the high priestess, which is moon, you know, energy, which moon energy is Pisces or Cancer, depending on what you're kind of like what you kind of believe in. So again, there's a lot of watery like intuition energy here. And you know, like you guys have a very strong intuition, and similar to the last group, which we told them like they kind of know things. I think you guys also know things, and I think you guys really do believe deep down in your heart that these things are coming. But again, like similar to the last group, so if you felt drawn to that one, you can probably check it out. It feels just more like you're scared, and there's nothing wrong with being scared, like I said, because we get scared all the time. But you know, I think that it's just, you just have to right now keep that faith and know, like, again, like, you know, major arcanas, a lot of them. So a lot of changes are going on for you. And the last thing that I see in the letters is I see IU, who is a great Korean artist. She's a soloist. I highly recommend her. She has amazing music. There was a particular song that I was thinking of, but I can't, like, I know the song and I'm going to be so mad because we're going to finish recording and I'm going to remember it. But for some reason I hear the like bloom, like I'm not hearing blooming, but the title blooming is popping up by her. So maybe that's something that resonates with you. But the song that I'm thinking of, I think, is the one that she collabed on with G-Dragon. And so you can look into that. But it's a song basically about how like she's not normal, but she's okay, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that that's very relevant for this group. It's like, you guys are not normal, but you're okay, and it's okay not to be normal, because like we said, normal doesn't exist. Much like time, normal is a construct.
I'm also getting Frank Ocean is popping up for me. So if you like Frank Ocean, I would listen to him. He is talented. And then as far as like IU goes, she also collabed with Yoongi. So if you want to listen to that song too, it's called, is it 8?
Yes, it's called 8.
It's called 8. It's Suga and IU, but that's a beautiful song too. IU is extremely talented. So I would definitely check her out. And then again, like Frank Ocean, like I know Thinking About You is the song that popped into my head, but that's his most famous song. So of course it did, but his other music is really good too.
Yes.
But that's what I'm getting. I see Dre, like Dr. Dre is in there too. So.
I thought about Dre too, and I also see Tim. So like Tim McGraw maybe for some of you.
We're just all over the place with our music recs.
Yeah, or maybe you're manifesting a Tim, you know, never know.
Yeah, so, you know, we also have a playlist linked below in the description for the Throat Chakra. So, you know, you can find some music on there too if you like music, if that's something that really, you know, kind of gets you through any of this stuff. Like, yes, because obviously music seems to be popping out for us. So check that out. Lyrics could be really important for you. If you saw any other, I know I just moved them, but if you saw any other words, you can go back like 2 seconds. If you saw any, just leave them in the comments down below. We like to see, you know, interaction. We like to see what you guys see that we don't see. So let us know if any of that, you know, if you saw anything else in there. We're going to go ahead and get into your BTS stickers. So.
Oh, I see tide now that you move those down. So yeah, ocean, important, you guys. Ride the tide right now.
All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to move that so that you guys don't see all of them. Okay. So we have, I believe this is Hobie.
Oh.
J-Hope. J-Hope, he looks so happy.
J-Hope!
Yeah, so I feel like this is like, you know, you guys might actually be coming into this place where you're feeling a lot more happy lately, and like you're feeling kind of giddy, and like it might just be with all of the things that are shifting. I know when we film this, like if you're watching this real time, there's a lot going on, like planetary right now, and like we're in
Mm-hmm.
between like a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, and like there's also like some signs that are moving into Aquarius right now, like I think Saturn and Uranus, maybe. There's two
Mm-hmm.
planets that are moving into Aquarius within the next like 2 weeks, but all of this is moving a whole bunch of heavy Scorpio energy because it was November like last week for us when we're filming this. So, you know, you might be coming into a happier time because of that. But if you're not watching this during this time, like it could just be that you're coming through a transition and you're ending a cycle, and like you're starting to feel uplifted and lighter and happier.
Mm-hmm.
This came out in group 3. This is Sad Ming
Oh.
on his rocking horse. So for me, like with Ming, and actually I'm gonna put this one with it because this is like also sad and scared Ming.
Lots of Hobie references in this group.
So you might like Hobie. Maybe you should listen to Ego. If you like Ego, Pile 2 had like 50,000 references to Ego by BTS. But Hobie, you know, Hobie embodies a lot of like sunshine quality. Like he's the sunshine of the group. He's happy, go lucky. Like he's very like bright and cheerful and like loving. And like I feel like that's a very good energy for this group. So you might embody that a little bit, which might be why you're getting so many references to him. Or
Mm-hmm.
that might be like the energy that's around you or that you're starting to come into. But if you are feeling a little bit down, like with those Hobie references there with Meng, then you know that's okay. Like let yourself feel those emotions, let them be there. You know, if you need to nurture yourself, nurture yourself. Like I feel like this group has learned that already. But you know, just remember that like it's okay to be scared sometimes, and like it's okay to not always be like in this high happy place. Like life is going to have ups and downs, and I'm going to make a wave reference because you know the ocean is important. But I feel like you know just keep riding the wave, and like know that like for every down there's an up. Like so you know don't always think that you're going to be down where you know at the bottom. Like it'll pick back up. And like if you
Mm-hmm.
are feeling really like down that day, like who knows, the next day you could be on cloud 9. Like so don't beat yourself up, and just know that like part of life is riding that wave. Is just
Mm-hmm.
going with the flow, and like understanding like that's just part of life. That's just part of being a human.
Yes, and plus, like Becca was mentioning, like I was hearing the song as she was talking, the by Dan Lewis, "The Waves," great song, and that song is about like things like it comes and goes in waves, and like that's the thing is like you guys with the sad Hobie and then the happy Hobie, like you guys might be going through that right now, like the up and the down and the up and the down. Because like you're hopeful and then your hopes feel dashed and then you're hopeful and then your hopes feel dashed, but like know that that's okay and that's normal, and you don't always have to 100% be like party mode sunshine, especially if you're used to being the sunshine for everyone else. It is okay sometimes if you need to tell those people, hey, I know like I'm usually pretty the positive one all the time, but I'm struggling right now and I need support. I feel like that's something
Definitely.
that you guys might need to say.
Yes, and with that, make a little
Oh.
heart. Yes, I know it's so cute. Like, oh, I'm like oohing over it. Help. So with this, like this is all about like soul family, you know, your non-soul family, your friends, like your support system is what this is really about. And like letting them love you. Like it's a big heart with all of them in it, and like loving on each other. And so for me, like this is very much like rely on those people that are around you. Like they're gonna be here to pick you up. And you might even have some soul family that's coming in. Like you might be meeting some new people that are really important to you soon. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but also spend time with those that you already have, like however you can, of course. So whether that be like online or virtually right now, but if you're not, you know, watching this during that time, then you know, spend time with those that you love, like however you can. And like if you need a support system, like know that there are people here for you, and you don't always have to be the sunny one. Like people would gladly support you, especially if you've already supported them. Like your true friends and family and loved ones want to be there for you when you need them.
Mm-hmm.
You got I call this investigation Tata.
Yeah, you guys might be a little bit of a skeptic, which Becca picked up on that earlier.
Yeah, so and that's okay. I mean, like there's nothing wrong with that, like being skeptical. Like if you are a little bit skeptical, it's just again part of being human because everybody has an ego. Like everybody has that thing inside them that's like, I'm not so sure. Like it's
Mhm.
just part again of being human. But it's a matter of like I know that spirit always tries to encourage you to believe in the magic because it is there and it does exist. And like a lot of people get too far into that like skepticism, but it's okay to have a little bit of skepticism here and there and just know that like that's natural. So don't beat yourself up if like one day you're like, oh gosh, like I'm feeling really like I'm not sure about anything. And like yesterday I was feeling like magic was everywhere. So what's wrong with me? Like nothing's wrong with you. Like you just
Just
are
human today.
yeah, you're just being a human. Like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, you're just a little more human today, and sometimes that happens.
Yes. You got, I'm not actually sure which one of them this is. Chim, I
I
think?
it's
Is it Jimin?
I don't know if it's Chimin or Junie. I can't tell.
I know.
It might be Chim just because of the yellow, but normally I can tell, but I can't with this one. But it's
Well,
very cute nonetheless.
yeah, he has orange hair. I don't know if any of you guys know which one this is, let us know. But I feel like this is very much spreading love. Like, you know,
Mhm.
like this is like somebody's very, he's like blushy and he's got little hearts on his hands and like there's hearts all around him. And I feel like this is just a sign like that, you know, you are loved. Like
Mhm.
somebody cares about you. And this could be a sign of like, you know, you're feeling very loved and flirty and like happy. So, you know, that's a fun energy to be in. You
Yes.
you got Cookie with his little peace
Yeah. Get
little
into
peace button.
your zone, relax, chill out vibes, man.
Yeah, this is vibing. Like I feel like this group is actually pretty good at vibing as it is.
Mhm.
If you asked a question, you got a yes.
Oh, nice.
And this is little RJ and he's super happy. So I feel like it was a good thing, whatever you
Yeah.
asked about. But I also see this as like a yes from the universe. Like, yes, you're on the right path. Yes, you're doing the right things. Like, keep going. Like, we're so proud of you. Like, yes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes. Keep
Um,
going now. Ready, set, and begin.
this Koya came out in the last group.
Oh, as Tata dances. I mean, as sorry, no. As I sing Ego, Koya then dances.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is celebration. Like things are happening. That's super exciting. And the reason why I said that is because I saved the best for last. Cookie with his happy ever after jar.
Oh yeah, you're getting delivered your happy ever after. That's so soft.
I know. I'm actually really kind of emotional with this group in like a good way. Like I'm kind of overwhelmed with like this happy feeling, like this like it just means that there's something good coming and you're going to be so happy. Like
Mhm.
it's like this ecstatic feeling and like I know that it's because of this group because like I just kind of got this like pick me up while we were reading. And so for me like whatever this happily ever after is, Spirit's really excited about it, like
Mhm.
really excited about it, and that's like a super good omen, so I'm super excited for you guys.
Yes, I'm very excited for you guys too. It's funny because I got emotional in the last group and she got emotional in this one. So Spirit's really feeling those emotions, man.
Yes, so we're gonna go into your chakra cards, so your BTS MONSTA
Mhm.
X chakra cards. We're gonna get you 4, or who knows, they might send out more, depends on what they're feeling like in that moment in time, but
The
we'll go
basis
ahead
is
and
4, basically.
yeah, the basis is 4, so we'll see what we get for it's either like what chakras you need to work on or which ones are your strong ones or just like advice in general. Hold on, they're being kind of picky, so we'll see what they want. I feel like they're trying to get like specific ones. Okay. You got the third eye chakra, Jungkook. We should try to respect and understand each other. We need to be considerate of others. Only then we can understand each other and get close to each other and become one. And that's a direct quote.
Yes, and we talked about how you guys feel misunderstood, and I think that's something that you're going to teach people, is how to be non-judgmental and to understand each other and to like love. And I think you guys have a good grip on how to not judge and how to not judge others, and how to give out that love. And so by you giving out that love, you're going to change hearts and change minds about what is acceptable. Feels very strong for this group.
Yes. And yeah, they sent you extras. Okay, so we'll start with this one. You got Crown Chakra, Namjoon. Your answers are also inside yourself. You just need to find them.
Yep. What did we say about this group already knows things?
So this is a direct quote from him. You got Wonho Hosik from MONSTA X. Heart Chakra. I love you all day. I love you always. So in love with yourself. Thank you for teaching me how to love myself. And that's from By My Side by MONSTA X. So again, you got kind of that teacher vibe of like, in loving yourself, that's going to allow you to help other people learn how to love themselves, but also it allows you to love others too and like let them in. You got Jin, Root Chakra. I love
That's
this
my
picture.
favorite photo of Jin.
I know. It says, why did I want to hide my precious self like this? What was I so afraid of? And that's from Epiphany.
Oh, now I'm emotional for this group.
Yeah, I know. I told you. It's fine. Okay. And then you got Hobie, Solar Plexus Chakra. It says, choices by my fate. So we're here. Look ahead. The way is shining. Keep going now. From Ego. Again, this has come out in 3 groups.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's really important at this time. Like, here, look ahead. The way is shining. Keep going. And then they wanted me to check the bottom of the deck. And you got Jin, Root Chakra. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. It's a direct quote.
I love that.
And I wanted to mention, as we film this, it is actually his birthday.
It is. It is. Happy birthday, Jinny!
Woo! Yes. So Sukjin, happy birthday. But I feel very strongly that this group is just, I think you've come to this point and like you're getting to this point of understanding all of these things. And like you have all these answers inside of you and like you're finally at this point of being able to accept and love yourself for who you are. And you're able to finally express that. And like you're coming into this confidence and all of this happiness is coming and all these good things are coming. And it makes me so excited for you.
I'm very excited for you guys. Now, like I said, I'm starting to get a little bit emotional about it because it feels like this big, like it almost feels like you're going to let out this big sigh of relief. Like I've finally made it to the top of my mountain and I've been trekking for so long because I feel like you guys have been on this self-improvement journey for a while. Like maybe not necessarily a spiritual journey, but a self-improvement journey for sure. I feel like some of you guys have been on it for a while and maybe you're still not where you want to be exactly, but like you're so close to the peak of that mountain, the top of that mountain, or and I think you guys like just let us know, even if it's a year from now, like just come back if you remember us and let us know like what happened for you because we would love to hear about it.
For sure. But that is what we had for you. So if you're still here with us, thank you for watching. We hope you you like it. So leave us a like, a comment, hit subscribe, let us know what you thought. Hopefully it helped you. If you would like to, we also do weekly readings, so you can check those out. Next week is the third eye chakra. So you already have a hint at one of those people in your pile. If you were drawn to one of the other piles, feel free to check that out. We also have a playlist on Spotify that's linked below. So if you want to listen to some music, kind of feel out like what your throat chakra is trying to tell you or what the songs are that the throat chakra is inspiring you with, like you can check that out also. But that is what we had for you. I hope, I am so excited for this group, but I hope you guys, enjoyed this a lot. And I hope that you all have a good rest of your week or day or month or whatever it may be until we hear from you again.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye.